Yeah, get it on. Got to get on a choice, but got a mandate. Get it on, and welcome to the show. Glad to meet, we think, Seann William Scott, who, of course, everyone knows from all the movies, and now shifting gears, which good friend Kevin Hench, good friend of mine, Kevin Hench, created, along with Tim Allen. But good to see you, brother.
Good to see you, too.
Yeah, we were sitting around trying to figure out whether we'd met or not.
I don't think so.
And the answer is we both don't think so, but it seems unlikely because our paths should have crossed at some point in this town.
That's what I thought. I was like, I feel like we should have met, but we would have talked about Windy City Heat.
Yes.
It's a...
So Johnny Knoxville turned you on to Windy City Heat?
Yeah, we were flying to Louisiana to do Dukes of Hazzard, and he showed me the movie, and I just... Ever since then, I think it was pretty life-changing. I think I've made so many friends, just by going, you got to watch this movie. And they're like, wow, thank you. It's just incredible.
It's a uniquely human experience, which is turning people on to stuff that's human that that other human will dig. Like, you wouldn't go bother your gardener with it, but once in a while, it's that way with restaurants, it's that way with movies, it can be that way with music, where you go, oh man, you're gonna dig this.
Right.
And then it becomes rewarding. Yeah. And it's interesting, right? Because there's really nothing in it for you other than turning someone on to something.
And it is that kind of movie where just... Unfortunately, so few people know it.
Yeah, it's a weird...
I do not know it at all.
Oh, you don't know Windy City Heat.
Left out, guys.
It's
that good, huh?
It's unbelievable. I guess we'll call it a cult classic or something. It was a movie that mostly Jimmy and all the big three, which is Tony Barbieri and Don Barris, all... So what happened was Jimmy and I... How do we meet? Okay, when we started doing the Man Show, we met some of these guys. Anyway, we stumbled into this long-running ruse that these guys were doing with a guy named Scary Perry. And this was like, sometimes they'll have, I don't know where they do this. I don't know if they still do it, but they do the living art installments where human beings pretend to be in the famous people in paintings and just stand there. Oh, yeah. And that's what it was. It was like human art. Like, they were just trolling this guy, but in real time, and getting people involved in it. And Jimmy immediately was in love with it and immediately got involved with it. And then they would cast people in... But it wasn't being filmed. It was just like, hey, we're going to Don's house Friday night. Well, it was Scary Perry's coming over there. He thinks he bought some really expensive sculpture, and then we're going to break it. But anyway, you got to show up, and Jimmy's going to be there. And then they'd go, well, who am I in this? We're casting this thing. And they'd go, oh, he knows you from MTV. So you're playing Adam Carolla. You're always playing yourself. Other guys are playing other people, like art dealers and stuff like that, because he doesn't know them.
Yeah.
And so we would do this. And I don't even know why, but at some point, Jimmy went, we got to make a movie out of this. And that was the movie.
Tell them what the movie is. It's the best. It's one of my favorite. I've seen it 1,000 times.
Deranged, right? It's like a deranged millionaire just like does some weird tricks with his friends.
The movie is about a guy who's in a movie, but he's in a different movie than the one he's in. He thinks he's doing an action movie called Windy City Heat, playing Stone Fury, the sports detective or something. Chicago's like the refrigerator got his fridge stolen and he's going to get it back. And so it's an entire movie about a guy who thinks he's in an action movie, but he's really in this movie. And there's no script. There's just scenes. And no one really knows how he's going to react in these scenes. And so everyone has sort of how they want it to go and how they hope it'll go, but they don't really know how it's going to go. And it came together that's real funny.
It's unbelievable, but they also put him through hell. So he has no idea that everybody is in on the joke.
Yeah.
Like, so he thinks he beat up Ben Affleck. He beat up like all these A-list stars.
Yeah.
And, he's the lead. And so, he does this whole movie totally oblivious to the fact that.
Well, yeah, the whole movie is, here's the whole movie. He, gets thrown in a dumpster filled with raw garbage, right? And then everyone around him goes, you got to get a stunt man. You got to demand a stunt man. You can't be thrown in that garbage can. And he goes, you know what? You're right. I'm going to get a stunt man. And then he gets a stunt man. First off, the guy's like 350 pounds. And he's like, I'm not that. That's your stunt double. I don't look like that. Yeah, we got a guy who looks like you. This is a big fat guy.
Just throwing him.
And then so the scene is but now it's the lovemaking scene with the beautiful ingenue, and where he's explained, sorry, you wanted a stunt guy, and he's like, no, I'm doing the lovemaking. No, the stunt guy does it. I don't know. I want to watch that scene because then later on he's like, I don't want a stunt man, and then they throw him back in the trash can again. That's the whole movie, right?
Yes. And then
wait, all right, we'll show you. All right, maybe we'll play the movie. That makes me laugh.
Rope, oh my God.
The whole point is the fat stunt guy makes love to her, and then he throws off the stunt man, and then the next scene he gets thrown back in the dump.
Seems like a classic.
It's a classic. But I don't know why. My favorite joke of the whole movie is Bobcat does everything through a bullhorn, no matter who he's talking to or how close they are to him. Yeah. And at some point, Perry says to Bob, you don't have to talk with the bullhorn. I'm standing right here. And Bob goes, okay, let me turn it down. And he turns it down. I don't know why that made me laugh so hard.
There's so many gems. But then it's also at the end, he's like, they had the big premiere. And so he's like, he's so excited. He's finally going to see himself star in this big movie. But then everything happens. They basically they make it so he's just like super late for the premiere. He's losing his mind.
It's
right?
all I don't know. You have to see it.
Yeah.
I will tell you this about that movie. I watched it. We had a 20-year premiere party, I think, a few months ago.
Oh, wow.
I think we had 20 years? Yeah, we had a party. And we rented out the whatever in Westwood. And I've seen that movie like 2 times with a full house. I've never heard as many laughs in a comedy. And I'm not saying it's better because there's lots of comedies I love. But laugh per laugh. You watch that movie with 300 people in the theater, you'll just hear nonstop laughter.
Yeah. And plus a cult classic like this, right? Yeah, because I watched Pulp Fiction last night at the Academy
you did?
Theater, and man, because I always watch it on videotape or DVD or through the years, and like you laugh at Samuel L. Jackson's lines, he does them real good, but in a huge audience, there's a different vibe. You know?
I agree.
Yeah,
and I'm glad there's still theaters in this world. I mean, the VCRs came out 40 years ago, and they said that's going to be it. But all right, sorry. Shifting gears. That's a new sitcom doing real well. I think it was the #1 sitcom.
Yeah, it's hot, bud.
That's
Yeah, thank you.
Wednesdays, ABC. I've been watching. I got to say, Kevin Hench, the guy created it. I guess Hollywood's a weird place. This guy get credit, that guy get credit, but Hench is a guy I worked with for a long time. And I met him at the Man Show, and then he came over to Kimmel's show, and then he wanted to be a writer on Kimmel's show, and Kimmel made him like a segment producer. Wow. And he didn't want to be a segment producer, but he was really kind of an out-of-work writer. And so I just said to him, I got an idea for a movie. I think me and you should write it together, and we wrote it, and it was a good movie. And we did a few movies and a few sitcom stuff, and then he just broke off and became like the king of the sitcom guys, which is crazy, but it's awesome, right? Yeah. And Tim Allen kind of became his guy, and I think I would say Tim probably can be finicky about who he's working with, but once he's probably like Roseanne in a weird way. Like once he likes you and trusts you, then that's the person you got to work with, and that's who Kevin Hench is.
Well, he's great. Yeah, I mean, this is my first sitcom.
That's right.
Yeah, I didn't know how much fun it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I was actually working on another project, and I wasn't sure. I was like, sitcom, I don't know, because I like to improvise and play around a little bit. And my friends were like, you got to do it, because I have 4.5-year-old daughter, and they're like, it's the best job to spend with your kid, and.
Yeah, you don't have to go to Canada and be gone for 4 months and all that, right?
Yeah, it shoots in LA, and but it's been so fun, and so the whole process too with just sitcom and just the writing and the rewrites and all of it is totally new for me, but I love it.
What is because so everyone goes best schedule, like the thing about show business. Show business is great, but you go, what's the schedule? And like the schedule could be. Go to Prague and shoot for 6 months or something, which, isn't great if you got young kids or whatever. And then some could be, you got to move to Atlanta, and some are like, you got to go to New Mexico. Like Bryan Cranston, I drove him to the airport because he's going to New Mexico. Like he lives in the Valley, he just got to basically move to New Mexico to shoot Breaking Bad. But everyone goes, the sitcom schedule's the best. Because it's here. It's right here.
No, it's ridiculous.
Well, what is it for?
It's ridiculous.
It's not the best for. It's best for, but the writers, it's not as good for because you have to be there all the time.
For the actors.
But what is the actor schedule on this sitcom?
I mean, it's so silly. I mean, so we pre-shoot stuff on Mondays. Mm-hmm. And, typically, I think in most TV shows and films, like a short day would be 12 hours. Right. And I'd done an hour TV show, and like a lot of the days were like 16-hour days.
Single camera.
Yes, exactly. And
that's just like shooting a movie.
Yeah. And but this, so the Monday, the long day is like 11 to 8. And then Tuesday, we do the live show, which is so much fun. And that's maybe the same. Wednesday, we do the table read. You go in around 9:30, read a table read, do the table read, eat some food, maybe do a little rehearsal, like 9:30 to 1:30.
Yeah.
And then Thursdays and Fridays, like 9:30 to like 1:32.
Yeah.
So I can literally leave and go pick up my daughter at school.
Yeah.
So
it's unbelievable.
It's like a job. It's show business. You don't have to get on an airplane.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's so fun. It really is. And everybody in the show is just so wonderful. But
and listen, it's good money too. It's there used to be nutty money. Now it's good money. But I just had John Cryer in here, and I was like, 2.5 Men, and I was like, what are you doing these days? I mean, do you have to work? And he's like, no, I don't have to work. I was like, wait a minute, you're younger than I am, you son of a bitch. Why don't you have to work? Because then I have to work because you did 8 seasons of 2.5 Men. And that'll be about it. If you want, I'm always curious about Roseanne. I'm like, buku bucks sitcom, couple of marriages where the dudes turned the tables and got the money from the ladies. I cheer for those guys, but I'm always curious. Like, I don't know where she's at. I'm sure she's fine. But anyway, good money, good schedule. And good.
Yeah.
And that is, if I don't know, Kat Denning, I know Hench is good.
Amazing. Kat's like one of the coolest.
The only thing that can ruin this is shitty castmates who, for some reason, they do it like a band does it sometimes, where it's like, sometimes you go, if this guy wasn't such a dick, or this guy got along with that guy, these guys could be touring forever and making boot, but they won't be in the same room. And it's like, why? I never get it.
Weird.
Like, they'll do it with sitcoms too. It just takes one asswipe.
Yep.
And it's like, we could have had another season, but he wouldn't come back, and he hated the guy, created the whatever. And it's like, why?
I know.
I don't get it.
It's true. Thankfully, with this show, I can't see that happening, but yeah. And the other thing too about the show is that, every other project, you have, it's like game time every day. You're in front of a camera, you got to be ready. Mm-hmm. And with this, it's like, you're really only shooting 2 days out of the week. So the other days You walk in with your sweatpants, you walk around and do the blocking. You know, it's really
free food. Lots of free food.
Craft services.
We got really happy about that. You got transported to a craft service. Yeah.
I just throw some ribs up there. He's ready to go.
I think food is a lot like molestation in that whatever trauma you had, it stays with you. You know what I mean? Like, there's not enough therapy to get me through free food. You know, I come from where I come from, and I still get excited about free food. You know, like it means something to me. I don't know. Where do you come from?
His parents
get over the molestation.
Well, I'm not saying it's the same, but I'm saying it's trauma, and it sticks with you. And all the pretense and the money and the nice cars, it's still there. It's always there.
Funny thing is you know, on shifting gears, when you have the live, you know, performance, their craft service room is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So that was one of the first things I told my daughter. I'm like, wait till you see the free food. Free food. They got everything. They got spinach artichoke dip.
You know what's always weird? I always thought of this as a weird thing in Hollywood. That the two things that'll ruin a career is either getting fat or getting drunk.
Yeah.
And everything in Hollywood is food, and then every gift is a bottle of scotch. It's like, what kind of weird mixed message is
right.
Every gift is booze, and every room is filled with Twizzlers. And it's like, why are you doing this to people you don't want getting fat or drunk?
Right.
Yeah, it's a mixed message.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So, where are you shooting? Right
Burbank?
in here, right?
Yeah, close. Burbank, Disney.
Oh, right. Are you dealing with Hench? Is Hench, Kevin Hench, punching stuff up or doing whatever he's doing?
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah.
He's a good dude.
And you're like a really great improv performer, but is it mostly scripted? Like you stick deep to the script on this show?
Yeah, I mean, I think. Thank you, by the way, but no, they're really collaborative. It's, you know, if you have an idea, and if you have any sort of idea you think can improve on what they have, they're really open to playing
shifting
around.
it a little bit.
Yeah,
Every character you play has a little bit of your juice in there. You know, you like do this wacky little thing that, you know, you can't put it into words really. Like, I remember I caught you on Always Sunny, right?
Oh, yeah.
And that Country Mac, oh my God, it was like
That was
classic.
fun.
Because it was you, but it was you in that universe, you know?
Yeah,
like,
thank you.
Yeah, talk about like the script versus what you see.
Yeah, I mean, in my experience, you know, kind of from the first American Pie, you know, I was just lucky in that just to get that film, but then to have ideas, and I mean, I was just like, how do I get myself into as much of this movie as possible? So I just had all these ideas, and they were really open to hearing them and letting me try them out and keeping them. And
you mean in American Pie?
And the first American Pie. So from that point on, you know, every comedy that I would do, I was like, you know, I just thought, okay, I just have to trust myself and, you know, try to use whatever my imagination, whatever ideas I think could, you know, be fun.
And did that come from like your family? Like what's going on? You know, because my family is funny people with different styles. You know, I can just imagine that came from the same way.
Definitely. My dad was really funny. He was like a little bit of a Bill Murray, Chevy Chase vibe. And, you know, growing up in Minnesota, you have to have a sense of humor. I mean,
I know, it's cold.
And he's cold, and all my friends were hilarious. So, you know, it's kind of drawing from them, but my family, you know, we like to laugh, and they're all very funny, most of them.
Yeah, Minnesota historically is known for comedy. I mean, look at Prince. That guy was super funny.
Hilarious.
No, I mean, any place where there's ice fishing, there's going to be comedy, because ice fishing is just sitting and drinking and not. That's all it is. It just should be called ice drinking.
You done that before?
I have. It's hilarious. I did it one time, and I was like, this is it, huh? I'm good.
It's a weird thing to explain. I'm from North Hollywood, so it's like I had a girlfriend from Minnesota, and she was like, you push the cabin, and you get the auger bit, and I'm like, Really? Because I'm from North Hollywood. It seems like an insane activity.
Yeah,
also, it was funny. I do remember her name was Cynthia. She was a cheerleader for the Minnesota Vikings years ago. But I remember one time she said something like, "I'm going to go in and get some Udder Bomb." And I said, Udder Bomb. She goes, yeah, hand cream. And I said, Udder Bomb? Yeah, it's what they call Udder Bomb. I go, nobody calls it Udder Bomb.
Udder Bomb.
In here. It was cream that you put on udders in Minnesota. I guess it gets pretty cold,
Udder Bomb.
And she goes, everyone knows what Udder Bomb is. I said, nobody knows. Nobody here knows what Udder Bomb is. She goes, are you kidding? Then we had to do that process. We have to stop people.
Ask everyone.
You know what?
I don't know Udder Bomb.
You're from Minnesota. And you don't know what Udder Bomb is. Dawson, is Udder Bomb a generic thing?
I think she made it up.
I think it's a brand name.
Yeah,
is it a brand name?
Oh.
Udder
It's
But
Bomb.
I think, Sean, you can't be from Minnesota and not know what that is. It's for chapped hands and.
You know what it is. Dawson's from the Bay Area and he knows what it is. Whoa, we got a controversy brewing now.
Bomb.
So wait a minute, you're in Concord, you grew up, Dawson?
Concord.
Concord, I mean. We don't do the O.
No, there is no O in that.
Concord? Who'd you conquer?
Yeah, exactly.
So you grow up with Udder Bomb, Dawson.
No, I only heard about it later in life.
Oh, maybe,
I was out of college.
But
by
you
the
didn't
time
hear
I
about it
found out
through me
about it.
complaining about my
No.
girlfriend?
No.
Okay.
What-
So
why
just
did-
word on the street?
I think I was working an event in northern Michigan.
Oh,
And it was outdoor, and it was my hands were cracked, and someone said, "Try this Udder Bomb."
It's extreme hand lotion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
Minnesota gets pretty, when
Yeah.
you're drinking on a frozen lake,
Well, yeah.
you can get some
You're right.
chaps.
It's cold as
hands.
a cow's tit.
Those cuticles can
there's
turn white.
I think there's another one called Working Hands. It's essentially the same stuff.
But Udder Bomb is a brand. Is that what we're saying? All right.
Udder Bomb sums in something you just don't want, like an
I
STD,
agree.
right?
So
exactly.
you grew up in what part of Minnesota?
Cottage Grove, south of St. Paul.
And you grew up there and you go to college?
No, the beginning of my senior year in high school is when I was like, I'm going to be an actor. And
you just decided.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it
You went
was.
to theater? You went to theater like classes or anything, or just you were like, let's go for it?
I mean, I loved
Let me
movies.
get my handsome face out there and see
No.
what happens.
You know, I'm the youngest of 7 half siblings, and I have one brother who was the actor of the family, and I played sports, and but
Wait,
like
you
most,
have 6 half siblings?
yeah, but most of the siblings were older, and they moved out, and so it was really just
Is that
me
your
and my-
dad or your mom's side?
3 on each of their previous marriages, and then they got married and had me.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's a little like Brady
It's
Bunch.
Yeah. It was 1 plus. I mean,
Here's the
because there's
story.
6. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's 3 and 3.
Yep.
And then you're the product of them.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's unique.
Yeah, and yeah, but they were all like, again, it was really just me and my one sibling, so a lot of them are older and kind of out of the house. But yeah, just like most kids, we just loved movies. I have a brother who was a film theory major, and he introduced me to really interesting films when I was younger, and it was literally just like, I want to do that. And I had no idea like what I was doing, what the process was. When I moved to LA, I didn't know you had to audition. I thought you got an agent. They just
When
hooked
did
up
you
with-
move here?
96.
And you were what age at that point?
I was, I think, 18.
18.
Yeah.
So you at 18 just picked up
Yeah.
and left Minnesota.
Yeah, but like I said, when I got an agent, I thought they just hooked you up with movies. I remember getting a call saying that we got an audition for you for Baywatch, and I was like, what do you mean? Like a tryout? Like, why? When am I going to work with Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson? What's going on here? I was like, plus it's like Baywatch is TV. I don't do TV.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're one of these people that I'm most jealous of, which is the personal momentum person, where you feel, and I'll be careful on how I
I know
couch
what you're
this,
saying.
but
I think I agree.
I know a few of these guys, and they're like super successful. And part of it is their ability, and the other part is what I just call personal momentum. They just go, why not? And I go, well, you're not going to be a movie star. You're from Pittsburgh, Minnesota. And I go, why wouldn't I be? You know what I mean? They just,
Yep.
Bill Simmons, the sports guy, is a personal momentum guy. And like, I remember what he'd go, come on, Ace, let's go do this. And I go, no one's going to let us do that. We're going to get in trouble. Why not? And he'd just go do it. And I realized, and then it works because people kind of respond. Like I had a friend that was that way. Like we didn't have any money to get in a movie theater. I was like, we got to sneak into this theater. And he goes, yeah, hold on. And he's looking through the glass near the exit. And some guy's like walking in the bathroom. He's like on the glass. And the guy's like, huh? And he goes, come here. And the guy goes, what? And he goes, open the door. And the guy goes, go to the door. And the guy goes, okay. And the guy just opens the door and we just walk in. He goes, I told you, come on. And I'm like, you can't do that. And like, but he could, and he did, and we did.
Awesome.
You know, and there's like people are just kind of, and then there are other people like, we're gonna get into trouble. I drove from Vegas to LA at night with Bill Simmons, who doesn't like to wear the seatbelt on his car. He's like, I don't need this, Ace. And I go, okay, and then he's driving 95 miles an hour. And he goes, we're going to make it in 3 hours. I go, but Bill, we're going to get pulled over. You're not wearing your seatbelt. We're going to get busted. It's the middle of the night. There's cops all over the place. Don't worry about it. We just drove 90 miles an hour. And we pull in. It's like, 3 hours. I told you. And I was like, okay, good. But now I see maybe you're a personal momentum guy. Like I'm going to LA. I'm going to star in a movie.
You know what? Maybe I am. Honestly, I think
it's a good way to be.
It is.
You know what, though? I think is that there's probably a lot of people that have that attitude, and I just got lucky to get American Pie.
You got to be able to back it. You have to be able to back it up.
Yeah, I think
it's no different than the dude who wants to fight people in the street. Okay, but you got to know what you're doing. You got to be good. Otherwise, there's going to be trouble. You're going to get burned.
Yeah, I think for me, it was a lot of luck and timing.
When did you get American Pie? How long have you been in LA?
3 years. And so
you were in LA for 3 years?
Yeah, and I think, for me, there are plenty of actors that, should have had that chance. And if they've got the chance, they would have done something better than I could have done. But I think that I had, if anything, the focus to go, okay, how do I parlay this into more stuff? So I think I'm probably that kind of guy, but then I just got lucky to get a job.
I don't know. You could have been, left in this iconic movie and that's it. But you really branched your career out every direction. I don't know if it's the agent really looked alive suddenly or what, but or just it looks like your hard work paid off because now you got this big show and I don't know, man. I'm impressed. You're one of those guys that everybody goes, "Hey, Stifler," but if you know you ain't Stifler.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah. Well, I think, a lot of luck, but also I just know, I'm grateful. I think I grew up with perspective and great family. And, when you get a chance to do something like winning the lottery, then you go, all right,
What'd your dad do?
He was a factory worker. Yeah, he worked at 3M. I remember
3M.
3M. Yeah.
I remember they had the
Minnesota.
Yep. Yeah. There was the visit your dad at work day. And I was like, oh, this is great. And I remember we got in the elevator, and then the elevator went down, and then it kept going down. I'm like, and I was young, and I was like, well, does Dad work in hell? The elevator doors opened, and it was like a furnace. And wow. So he was a hardworking.
He's just putting glue on the back of stickies.
He's a post-it guy.
I wish he did that.
Post-it guy.
Just in a corner. Just
just him.
So he was
around him with just one sticky note.
He was very blue collar then.
Yeah.
And your mom, that is your mom. That's right. Everyone else is 3 other people's stepmom.
Yeah.
What'd she do?
She cleaned homes for a living. She was
so you got everyone worked in regular work stuff.
Yeah.
Which a good base. It's a good base.
Yeah.
Then the problem with that sometimes comes a lot of baggage or other stuff, the blue collar dads are good when they're good, but then when they're drinking or whatever that thing is.
Yeah.
But you seem to have the good of the blue collar without whatever the baggage of the blue collar is sometimes.
I got lucky. Yeah, my parents are awesome. I think, they're just great. And so I think it's helped a lot with this type of job where it's so important to be grounded and grateful and to not lose perspective. Otherwise, you're going to lose it all.
Well, it is, it's a job that anybody sorry, not anybody, but there's always another option if they don't like you. Like, you don't have to be in a sitcom. You don't have to be
Especially
in a
for
movie.
guys like me. You know, there's a lot.
Everybody. There's like 3 or 4 people who transcend that. And then everybody else, they can swap you out with anybody. And they always do that story where they go, well, you know, Tom Selleck originally was going to be play this role and this, and that guy was the original, because and that's how it works. So if you're a douche, then they don't need you. They don't need you.
Yeah.
They don't
See you
need
later.
you. Yeah. So it just would. This is for all jobs, but especially acting jobs.
Right.
Just be there, be on time.
Right.
Know your lines and be sort of halfway decent. And then they love you because all you have to do is be half sane. You don't have to be that good. You just have to not be a total head case, and then you'll be embraced, right?
Right. Yeah. Don't ruin the show, and you can keep your job.
Yeah. Indiana Jones. That's the guy.
I was gonna say, I was
That's
Indiana
the guy
Jones.
I was
That's
trying
right.
to
Yeah.
think of. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. So good. And why not? And I don't get why you shouldn't be as happy as compared, not you, but I just mean when you get a job on a sitcom, that's a lottery type job. You've hit the jackpot, and everyone should skip onto set. But yet it doesn't happen that way so oftentimes.
This show, it seems like everybody's skipping. But another thing too about the show is, you know, once it aired a couple times, and people became fans of it, you know, then when you're performing in front of an audience, I mean, it is, I get a little bit of a sense of what it must be like to do stand-up, you know, and you're delivering a joke and they're going crazy. You know, you get that feeling like, man, this is amazing.
Feedback.
Yeah,
you never did you didn't do theater and stuff like that. So you kind of just went from high school where you weren't in the drama club, I guess.
Right. No.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you just went here and you're doing roles, but you know, there's no audience on set sort of thing, and features, obviously, and you did tons of features. Yeah. So you didn't have that experience of the live audience.
The only time I've had that experience, I hosted Saturday Night Live once, and and that was a long time ago, but that was when I really felt it. I was like, the energy, and also I was terrified. So it was just like, you know, I don't know how I even got through it, but I just remember that, the energy and the feeling that when things are working and you're in, you know, kind of the zone. And then hosted the MTV Movie Awards with Timberlake. And it was similar kind of thing. We were up on stage, and but that was it. And that was a long time ago. So, and different than a sitcom, you know. But yeah, I can see why Tim loves it so much, you know, because it's when you get that feedback. It makes it way more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I concur. Live audience is great. It's fun doing stand up. I don't know why at stand up sometimes getting that same thing that sitcom actors do, where they go, I don't want to do a second show, or I don't want to try go here or go there. It's a blessing. You get to do what you want to do. You could be at the 3M factory with your dad down in the hubs of hell, stoking a furnace all day.
I'll never forget it, man.
And then the sharp contrast of then ice fishing that weekend. You go from the hubs of hell to a winter wonderland.
You know, it reminds me of you're exactly right. But it just reminds me of going back to Dukes of Hazzard, which Knoxville like to call the Dicks of Hazzard. I remember the premiere, and my dad came, and you know, Burt Reynolds, Willie Nelson.
Oh,
and
wow.
I remember I just remember my dad being like, "This is cool. This is pretty cool."
Yeah, I had fun with the movie. I love that movie because they had a huge car jump. There's nothing better than a huge car jump. And this
it was
is
awesome.
No CGI or anything,
No,
right?
that was the real thing. That was awesome.
You were obviously you weren't in the car, but you were there to watch.
No, I didn't see it live, unfortunately. I just saw it,
shit! You missed that
it didn't show
day.
up.
No, I know.
I mean,
Were you there?
no, I remember. I liked stunts, you know, and you maybe like Windy City Heat. I like Hooper. That was a Burt Reynolds movie where he played a stuntman.
Oh, yeah.
And everything was just totally analog, you know.
Yeah.
And like they're doing they're doing shit. Like they did one scene at the end, the big climactic scene where they're blowing up a town or whatever. And they had one of those old smokestack chimney brick. They're like 300 feet tall, one brick at a time. It's trying to be a weird job, like, here's your brick. How high we going? 300 feet. How thick's this brick? 4 inches. So get to getting. So they're like just going in circles and make a giant, and they're gonna blow it up. And they blow it. It's got to fall down. But the guy's driving he's driving a Firebird or something, and he's coming around the corner, and they got to time it that he gets under it. But they don't want to get under it by a lot, just by a little. But the thing's like on dirt, and it's raining, and the guy's spinning his tires and getting sideways and stuff. And I'm like, they're just doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's the car stuff in Dukes is legit. Like, it's awesome. And
I think we have the jump, so I'm told, which is now that the ramp was there he is.
I got to work with Bobby Orr, this precision driver, for about a month. Look at that.
That's crazy. Such a great shot.
Yeah, that's great.
Good acting with the head slam.
I have a great Dukes of Hazzard story.
All right,
let's hear it.
come with it.
So, I'm trying to tell this without getting anybody in trouble.
That's always a concern around here.
Yeah. Okay. So, when we were shooting that movie, they were just starting to cast a Superman movie, and I think this was like 2 Superman movies ago. So,
what year was this?
I want to say like 2007.
Okay.
So, and I was taking Dukes of Hazzard seriously. I was like, how do we make this movie like Butch Cassidy? I was the only one thinking that. I was the only one staying at home, just like, trying to work on the script. Everybody else was partying their asses off. Mm-hmm. So anyways, 3 weeks in, I'm feeling pretty good about what I'm doing. And my agent calls me. He's like, listen, the heads of Warner Brothers, they want to do a video conference call with you on Monday. And I was like, they want me for Superman.
Yeah.
I'm getting they like what I'm doing.
Wow.
I'm getting Superman. Holy shit. This is unbelievable. Bo Duke, Superman.
Yeah.
So I'm getting more calls over the weekend, like a Saturday, like one of the big agents at my agency that I never really spoke to was like, I'm getting a kind of a serious vibe. I'm like, so they're serious about me doing Superman. Like, she's like, I don't know about that. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, we're getting this information. I think Greg Silverman, one of the heads at Warner Brothers, is going to fly out to Louisiana to talk to you about this. I'm like, oh, this is great. Like, I'm really close to getting this part. So over the weekend, I'm just starting to think like, what's going on? And so then we're shooting. And
you're shooting in Louisiana.
Obviously. And the executive, I'm getting, at this point, I'm realizing this isn't Superman. Something's going on here. It doesn't seem good. Nobody's giving me any information, and now it's starting to feel serious. So I'm like, okay, no Superman for me. What's going on? I feel like I'm in trouble. And I was meant to go back with this Warner Brothers executive back to Baton Rouge to do a video conference call with the head of legal at Warner Brothers and another executive there. And now I'm stressed. And I'm like, what would I do? I'm the one at home, like studying my lines, like, showing up on time. And so Greg Silverman shows up and we're driving back. It's like an hour and a half drive to some like.
And sorry, when you say at home, you're home in Louisiana while you're filming the movie.
Yeah. So we're in the country and then we're driving to like downtown Baton Rouge and to do this video conference call. And I'm like, dude, what is going on? Is it Superman? And he's like, it's not Superman. I'm like, could it have been Superman? He's like, no, it was never, ever going to be Superman. I'm like, but like another one of the superheroes? He's like, no, never. So I'm okay. So I'm like, can you tell me? He's like, I honestly, legally cannot tell you what this is about. And I'm like, all right, this sucks. Like, I'm just thinking, what did I do? And by the time we get there, it clicks. I go, was it this? And he goes, I can't confirm or deny that. I'm like, this is ridiculous. So do the video conference call. One of the, very important people at Warner Brothers was on it. And then the head of legal was there and he goes, Seann. He goes, one of our editors noticed that you had said to Johnny Knoxville in one of your takes, have you tried the cocaine they're handing out? Because I did, and I'm totally fucking jacked right now. And I go, it was a joke. It's not even my joke. I go, I worked with a huge superstar on another movie. Can't say.
Oh, yeah.
But that was his joke because he knew that we were mic'd.
Yeah.
And he knew everybody was listening.
Yeah.
And like we all laughed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just did his joke. That's not even my joke. Obviously, we're not doing cocaine. We're not passing around cocaine. He's like, well, we just have to check because you're doing a lot of the driving stunts. I'm like, yeah. But I'm the guy at home, like, studying my lines. You got the wrong guy. And then I go...
Shut you down.
And then the other thing, too, is because I was doing all this stunt training, and I was in probably the best shape of my life. I remember I had to do, like, a huge physical, and... when they were checking my heart rate, this is before we started shooting, the doctor's like,
Off the chain?
he's like, my heart rate was so low because I was actually in really
good shape. Yeah.
And he goes, are you doing heroin? I go,
Yeah.
what? I was like,
really?
And this is like, and I was like, no, bro, I'm in great shape. I had to do a whole separate test to prove to him. I'm like, it's because I'm running and all this stuff. So I go, you guys have my health records. Like, clearly I'm not doing blow all day.
The doctor asked if you were doing heroin.
And my mom was with me. My mom was like,
if you get in super good shape and your heart rate falls like under 40, they're like, whoa, you're on drugs.
Exactly.
But you can just be in really good shape and have a 38 heartbeat.
Exactly. And so I had finally told these guys, I'm like, we're good, right? This was a joke. Not even my joke. And they're like, okay. I'm like, this sucks. So then when I told Knoxville, he was pissed. That's when I think he goes, take out the wrong guy. He's like, and so I think he was playing, I can't remember the joke that he did, because now he knew that everybody was listening.
Yeah.
And he said something the next day about the head counsel and some joke with
This is your fault because because we all know people where, we all have that dude, you may be this dude.
Might be.
Mayhem, where you sit down and you go, God, that fucking bartender was such a douche. I stood there for it. He goes, which one is he? And you go, just relax. What the fuck? Which one? Is that guy? Is it sweater vest guy? And they start getting up and you go, just sit down. And you go, but it's your fault because you should have never told them. No. There's men this way. There's women this way. Women... There's a lot of women this way where you go, Oh,
you mean because I told Knoxville?
So, yeah, you told Knoxville. No. And saying Knoxville's going to do something. That's what I'm saying. You should have buried that deep inside. It should have been your secret shame.
He had my back.
I know, but he's going to do something.
I know, but the thing is, they never did shit. Once Knoxville ripped them every single day, they were like, okay, haha. Okay.
They just chopped up the lines for you?
Yeah, no, it was great.
By the way, people drive better on coke.
Yeah.
The
performance enhancer.
Oh, yeah.
They do these big, huge jumps way better on coke.
Way better.
You know this. It's a truth.
I think we have that Hooper scene with the thing, which is they blow up. Hooper. Watch Hooper. He's basically playing Hal Needham, but they're blowing up smokestacks.
Damn.
And the cars are going on. But he does one where he just gets under. I think it's this one.
That was serious stunt.
Wow. That's analog shit, too.
That was practical effects.
Yeah. All right. We got it.
Great, man.
You could be the modern day Jan Michael Vincent.
I was thinking at the same time.
You guys got a lot of the same looks, apartment.
I think it's me.
You cover some of the same territory. He kind of played the heavy. He didn't have your sense.
I could play the heavy.
He didn't have your sense of humor. But it's another thing. Sometimes you talk to women and you go, you have this look, and because you have this look, and it's usually a good look, they don't think you have a sense of humor. You have a look like a lead and a heavy and a dude, and it's a good look, but it doesn't say comedy. It says something else. But then there's
the compliment.
Yeah, but maybe you don't get cast in certain things because of the look, because comedy has a look, you know.
Well, now they're not even making comedies, really.
Well, I guess they're not, right? What are they making? Superhero movies?
Yeah,
or just stuff they made part 5 of part 4 or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they're gonna. I think they're gonna try to start making studio comedies again. But yeah, I mean, for me, I was just doing variations of the same character at the beginning of my career because I was like, I wasn't like getting a ton of roles sent my way, so I was like, oh, okay, it's like Stifler's cousin. I'm gonna make the best of this, you know, and maybe at some point I'll get like American Beauty. That never happened.
American Pie is you had to catch people by surprise a little bit because it's a good comedy, but you know, take it from the guy who made Windy City Heat. Doesn't mean people are going to see it or get in any rotation or find it or know it. Right. It's real low percentage that something is like, oh yeah, everyone. You bring up the movie, everyone knows it. Yeah. You know, that's a very low percentage game, especially with comedies.
Well, Windy City Heat is a great example because it is a classic. It really is.
I didn't bring it up for that.
No, because I brought it up the first time I saw you. I mean, I have seen that movie 500 times.
Oh man,
it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Yeah. But I think what helped American Pie, I think, is that Dumb and Dumber had come out, and then Something About Mary. So kind of gross out comedy. Yeah, like, you know, the jizz in the hair, you know. Right. And so you can kind of start to get there, like, oh, people like this.
Yeah,
you know,
like pre-internet, it like hit the right spot. Yeah, like my personal development, like I was a kid that would just. When that came out, that was like, it spoke to me. It spoke to all of us and during that era. So you caught that wave.
Hold on a second. Ma'am, are you wearing my jacket? Is that my jacket?
I have the same jacket.
You have the same jacket?
Sick.
So if I go back there, I'll see my jacket?
Yeah, this is my jacket.
You just thought that just now?
I just walked in the house right now. I'm wearing this jacket the whole show. I just want to know,
are you wearing my jacket?
Wait, okay, are we
we got the same jacket?
Twinsies?
Yours has a hood?
Yeah, a hood, yeah.
I'm going to look into this. I feel like that's my jacket. That's too good a jacket for you.
I invested in this jacket.
You didn't find that jacket like sitting out front
Have
on
you
a
been
sofa.
looking for it?
No. I'm a multiple jacket owner.
Oh, you're one of those guys.
I'm one of those guys.
Okay.
But
I also have 2.
Yeah. I've been displaced from Malibu.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm it's a little unsure where the jackets are. You know what I mean? Because when you get displaced, you take out your clothes in lumps like trash bags. But they get spread out. I got stuff here. I got stuff at the place I'm renting. There's stuff back in Malibu, so it's a little unclear.
How long you be away from your home for?
Oh, my God. I mean...
Did you lose your home?
No. That's the weird part. Everything around me burned, but not me. I should say, for clarity, everything in front of me burned. That's PCH. And half the stuff around me burned, like every other house.
Nightmare.
Crazily. But not everything. But there's no power. So still. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's only been 2 months plus. Wow. So I don't know. And weirdly, there is no information or answers. You can talk to anybody about when they're turning the power on, and all you get is a lot of different speculative answers, but no one goes, oh, there's a date, go online. That's when you can go back in. They don't do that, and it's weird. They don't even have an interest in doing that, which is peculiar, you know?
I live in West Malibu, and...
Oh, you do?
Yeah, so I was obviously worried that I was going to go there, but with the Weasley fires...
Are you past Zuma?
Really near Zuma.
Near Zuma.
I have a contractor friend who was telling me that, like this... I probably shouldn't say this, but like it's a mess. It's like it's a mess.
Let me write this down.
Well, just like that they're just not organized. They weren't ready for it, and so the all the things that need to happen in order to rebuild, they're not ready.
It's a running theme on this show, but
what's that?
Yeah. It's a running theme.
Yeah,
we talk about all the time.
Now look, now that they got that treehouse down in Sherman Oaks, maybe they can move on the Palisades. It freed up some workers, who can head over there.
Yeah.
But that the thing, I cursed that treehouse, by the way, in Sherman Oaks that they took down, the Simpson guy that was all in the news the other week, because I was looking to rent a house in Studio City, Sherman Oaks, same area.
Okay.
And some back street, kind of side street you wouldn't drive on normally. And I drove on it. I was looking at this house, and I turned around, and I was driving back, and I look up and I see that treehouse. And there it is. And I look at it, and it's funny. There's a naivete, I think, that people have who don't build or pull permits or deal with the city.
What's the story? I'm sorry, behind this one?
The guy built this treehouse 20 years ago. He was a Simpson writer, and Simpson had the haunted treehouse stuff for Halloween every year. And so he and a friend, I guess, decided to just build a really cool treehouse in the front of his home in Studio City. And there it was for like 20 years. And the kids, neighbor, they'd gussy it up for Halloween, and neighbors would come by and kids would climb up there and stuff. And then I cursed it because after 20 years, I was driving back from looking at this house, and I go, oh, look at that tree house. And then because I was a contractor, my first head always goes, I can't believe the city let him build that tree house. Yeah. And then normal people who aren't from here go, what business is it up there? And I go, what business? None, but still, they're getting involved. And she goes, you want to build a treehouse in your own yard? And I go, okay, you're from Michigan. Trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me. They don't let you build shit here without, they got to sign off on everything, and they're not signing off on that. And I was going, I kept mumbling to myself, I can't believe they let him build that. And then 2 days later, you turn on the news. The city is tearing down the treehouse of 22 years.
Did you talk about it on your show?
Don't put that on me. Don't do that to me.
Did. All those kids. They were so excited for next Halloween.
I know.
Can't wait to see the treehouse house. And it's going to be gone.
Carolla ran his soup cooler, and the joy is gone.
Wait, you were a contractor?
Yeah. And I pulled tons of permits and got into a million arguments with the city. And I was like, they're over officious jackasses who don't let you do anything. No way are you building a treehouse in your front yard. Well, there's two parts. One is no way they would permit it, and then no way they would let you do it.
Yeah.
And you can do stuff. I've been busted way more than once. I mean, what they do is they literally, I've had guys walk into a house I was working on, and they just walk in and they go, where's your permit? And you go, I don't got a permit. And they go, okay, get off the ladder, go home. You guys, everyone's working here, go home. You go get a permit, and you guys ain't coming back until he gets a permit. And then they just send everyone home. They'll come walking into your living room and just tell everyone to go home.
Yeah.
So I've had that happen a couple of times. It's never a good thing. But the problem is if you go pull a permit, they're going to require so much and may not give it to you. So people try to bootleg it, like they try to hide it. But the inspector guys are driving around, and they look for stuff like a dumpster. So if you park a dumpster, like if you're remodeling your bedroom in the back of the house, but you put a dumpster in the front of your house, they're going to have questions. So don't put the dumpster in front of the house. That's the answer. Or you get dickhead neighbor.
There's a lot of those.
There's a lot of dickhead neighbors.
So this was in the front of the house?
Yeah.
And what happened, a lot of people were starting to come around because they like, Treehouse of Horror, and some neighbor gave a call and said, and it started off a legal battle that cost the guy $50,000. He kept going to court about it, trying to keep his treehouse because it was like an institution for 24 years. But no, finally came down.
That's the city. Well, listen, here's the deal with the city. They have endless resources and energy for this kind of stuff. They have no energy or resources for homeless encampments that are being built across from the school or any of that. They don't have any energy for that, but they have. If this guy had a pothole in front of his house, he could call them for 100 years. They would never come fill the pothole. But Treehouse, they have energy for. They have like a lot of energy for enforcement of rules, but that's only for taxpayers. If you do not have a checking account, they're not interested in you because you can't pay them. Yeah, it's bad. But you're in Malibu, but you're in the part that didn't burn.
Yeah, we got crushed at the Woosley fire. That my neighborhood was really, I think it was one of the hardest hit neighborhoods.
What year was that?
I think that was
19?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what about the fire that was like 3 weeks before this fire? Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was
closer to you.
Yeah, that was that was the Bluffs fire, and I think that was about 10 miles away. But the fear is like, any of these embers, like, it doesn't matter. I think it's Woosley that was like came over from the valley,
So you made it in one piece.
Yeah.
And you're able to get out by going through the canyon.
Yes, but I've gone down PCH a couple times.
Oh, you have?
And it's awful.
It's awful.
It's awful, man. And you just think it's even hard to talk about it because it's just so, you can't put it into words. It's just, it's like a war zone.
I'm a car guy, and people always talk about the kids, but what about the cars? There's so many good cars and so many garages that
I never
got
thought about
dusted.
that.
I've been looking at them.
Right.
I'm like,
oh yeah,
it's Malibu.
For
Everyone's
sure.
driving everyone's house is $15 million along PCH.
Yeah.
What's in the garage? Lots of G-Wagons and Porsches, and they ain't driving Yugos from the 90s. They're driving cool. And when you go down there, you just see all the torched cars.
The cars really stand out. Other
It's
than
really
there's the one house with the spiral staircase. It's kind of like
just to
like
nowhere.
Yeah.
But
the cars it's really haunting.
It's been a big between all the nut jobs torching the Teslas and then the Malibu fire. It's been a real year for torching cars, like high-end cars.
Yeah.
Like, normally, it's the low-end cars because it's out in the riots in the bad neighborhood, and the guy's got the shitty cars. And this year, we went after the high-end cars. It's never been more cars over 50 grand that have been dusted in like a 2-month period historically. You can go back 500 years.
Yeah.
Hand of God, you're not going to find it. More high-end automobiles have been lit on fire in the last 60 days than ever before in this nation's history.
Being a car guy, that must break your heart.
Oh, it's tough.
Yeah.
I just went down PCH last week, and for some reason, the first time I was there, a lot of the garage doors were kind of in place. A lot of the garage doors are glass and aluminum and whatever, or what have you, but they made it, but nothing else. But they knocked down all the garage doors. They got rid of all the garage doors, and now I'm just walking past them, looking in garages and seeing high-end luxury vehicles because the people that fled. See, that fire that was 3 weeks earlier, I was asked to evacuate at 2:30 in the morning.
Oh, you're talking about the one...
the one that was like 3.5 weeks. Yeah, the Pepperdine.
And there was
fire.
one before that was close to Pepperdine, the Bluffs one. But yeah, the one that was, what was that neighborhood called? I can't remember. Either way.
The moral of the story is 3 weeks earlier, the phone goes off at 2 in the morning, and it's like, you got to evacuate. And then there's this guy, and I'm like, I don't see any fire. I think we're good. They always want you to evacuate. I don't think we should evacuate.
Yeah, he was super casual about it.
I was in a hotel once where the fire alarm went off at 2 in the morning, and I was like,
You're that guy.
I'm not going. I'm not getting dressed. But I was on the second or third floor, but I was like, I'll throw a chair through the window and I'll break my ankles if the shit really goes down.
Did you think that after the phone call?
I was like...
At the hotel. At the hotel, when they called you, were like, if I need to, this is what I'm going to do.
If I was on the 27th floor, I would have done it.
Yeah.
I was like, they had a prom. I saw prom kids walking around this hotel when I went up to my room at midnight. I was like, one of those fucking prom kids got drunk, some douche dude, and he pulled the thing. So I'm not going. Everyone else down to the lobby. I saw him through my window spill out on the lawn. It's 2:30 in the morning. I saw Dr. Drew down there. It's like,
Suckers, I said.
Yeah, I was just looking in my underwear, you know. But I did calculate that if I throw this chair through this window and I will jump onto that lawn and I will break my ankles, but I'm not going to burn up if there is a fire. But nothing happened. But that's where I was going.
Yeah.
But my girlfriend said, no, we got to get, and we evacuated at 2:30 in the morning and went to stupid Burbank and checked into a hotel 4 in the morning. And then 3 weeks later, when they told us to evacuate again, I was like, we really need to go? 'Cause I don't know. And we left. But
you didn't leave until the flames were licking.
I could see the flames. I could see flames.
Yeah, okay.
But
Sure.
a lot of people just got into a car and left and said, we'll come back tomorrow because they just did it 3 weeks earlier. But they could never come back. And I think they left a lot of those cars in their garages going, we're just coming back, you know. Yeah. And a lot of them are like, you know, Porsches and stuff because they took the family truckster to evacuate, to load up. The Porsche doesn't have any room in it, you know. So
could you see when you were walking on PCH, you could see the ruins of some of the classic cars and stuff?
Yeah, I've spotted so far, I saw 2 or 3 Porsches and a G-Wagon. That's what I got so far. And then a couple up on the hill were just like melted to the ground and stuff. It's really, it's kind of crazy what heat does to a car, you know, because the tires drop and then the glass cracks. And
also the houses that didn't get touched. It's you know, there's that stretch of destruction and then
completely
like 3 or 4
untouched.
homes, you're like, how does this happen?
I said it, so I'm doing a vlog, so it's coming out, or should be out, part 3. But in the vlog, I was standing on PCH. PCH in the middle of Malibu, like the real heart of it, because Sean's sort of on one end of Malibu, and I'm kind of middle, but other end, I'm kind of down by Dukes. And then there's just sort of the middle where, like, you know, Nobu is, and the pier. And anyway, I was in there. And I was looking at houses I knew well, like triple lot, you know, $100 million house, and that were pristine, down to the ground, you know, rubble, nothing there. Wow. But I go across the street, and there's a few of these 60s apartment shitbox, untouched, completely untouched. There's some
on the hillside part.
Yeah. There's some raggedy. Sean will tell you, there's a couple like raggedy apartments along PCH. Yeah, there's more than one.
Yeah.
And there's more than one. They're on the hillside where the fire came from. The fire started on the hill, didn't start in the ocean. Right. It came over the hill. And these are raggedy ass 1962 crap ass apartment shit boxes.
Yeah.
Pristine.
Stucco.
Completely untouched.
Stucco saved the life.
No, it's not. Everything's stucco. I don't know.
Some of them look like they're wood shacks.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Just
really?
Yeah.
Untouched.
Old,
and then $100 million home on the other side, all gone.
Wow.
Weird, right?
It is weird. It was just, like I said, I've driven that now a few times, and it always it strikes me that, like, how do they, like, 3 or 4 of these older homes, just on their own, and then all around them, you know, there's just everything burned down.
Listen, 100% luck of the draw. There is, I mean, a little bit is materials, you know, roofing, and, you know, you have a cedar roof or something, you're fucked, but pretty much luck, just weird luck.
Yeah.
Don't know. I mean, I don't know. You know, the bullet that hit Trump's earlobe, you know what I mean? Because he turned at the moment to look at the graph on the screen. I mean, that's kind of what it comes down to in life. So consider yourself blessed if you can hear the sound of our voice, because the bullet could have found the back of your head. But it's never been a worse 2-month span for high-end cars. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that. And I don't think we'll ever be matched.
But as a fire guy, I got to say.
As a guy who likes fires,
awesome.
it's salad days for you. Let me give you a plug, Sean. Shifting Gears. It's a good show, and I watch it, and I'm not even normally a network sitcom guy, but my buddy Hench created it, so I said, "Yeah, I'm going to watch it." And I got it taped, and or whatever we call it. It's really funny.
You and I are the tape guys. That's our generation.
Really fun. This guru done a fair bit of acting. Seen him in lots of movies as well. Don't quit. That's his philosophy, and we'll get into that and fitness app and stuff like that. But first. Update on fires, because you're a Palisades guy. Palisades is next to Malibu. For people listening out of the state or the country or what have you, Altadena's deep sort of valley off. Altadena's a good 25 miles away. That's one fire. Then there's the Palisades, which basically just bumps up against Malibu. And arguably... Altadena may have got hit the hardest, but the average home price in Altadena is probably $1.2 million, and the average price in the Palisades is probably 4.6. A little more real estate and a little more square footage to burn over there. And I drove all the way down Sunset, which starting at UCLA, and then all the way down to PCH, and it just turns into a war zone at a certain point, right down some of the most pristine highway and architecture in the world. So where are you?
Fellas, it's great to see you. It's great to see you. Chase, man, my life has always been the pump-up guy, you know? And I did the show a long time ago, man. I sat right here. We were talking about, I remember what, but it was always awesome news. It was always great positive news. And you brought up the fire. I was listening to the last guest and heard about you in Malibu and being displaced. We unfortunately lost our home. And guys, it's the most surreal thing you could ever imagine.
How long have you been there?
30 years.
30 years.
In the house for 30 years, gone. We have 4 kids. My wife Tracy and I raised 4 kids in that house. Our daughter Morgan is 32. I have a son Nick, who's 30. Zach is 25 and Luke is 23.
So was everyone out of the house?
Everybody was. I'll set the story up.
Set it up.
So it's January
you're right in the middle of the. Sorry, you're right in the middle.
I'm in the Huntington Palisades. I'm in the flats where you could never imagine. And that Adam, I heard you say you got evacuated. We were supposed to be evacuated a few years back, and I packed the car up and I decided, you know what? And it was coming from the valley side, if you remember, and there's not a chance they're going to get us, and we were fine. We were listening to the news, and they said, if you're in your house still, you're an idiot, and get out of your house. And we said, I think we're going to be fine, and we were.
Well, there is an element that people need to understand, because they think some who were reluctant to evacuate, like, are rolling the dice. But you go. As I've said to people, whether it's an earthquake or a fire, they go, what about earthquakes or what about fires? Because the house was built in 1948. Yeah. Well,
it's still there, baby. It's still there.
So I don't know about the fire, because the fire had 75 years to burn this place down. Right. It hasn't burned it down. Yeah. But that doesn't mean it ain't going to burn it down. It ain't going to
burn down. So this was, I'm a big believer, fellas, in life is about moments, And I'll just set up January 7th for you. Go about my day. Now, the night before, if you remember, the news talked about heavy winds. It's going to be heavy-duty winds. There's a chance of fire. It's been dry as hell here. And I remember, man, I've been in this house for 30 years. I love it, man. I got a gym in my home that I've had. I've earned, I was born in Brooklyn, New York. I was raised in Baldwin, Long Island. A great family. Came from a middle class,
Worked
family.
Your way up
so
to that neighborhood.
It's everything. When I met my wife, his girlfriend, and she had mentioned, she talked about a trust fund. And I said, yeah, that sounds great. I'm wondering, how do you get one of those things? And I even asked my mother, I said, Ma, do I have a trust fund? And she laughed and said, get out of here. And there was no trust fund. So everything I have, I earned, and I'm very proud of it. And, it's this January the 7th in the morning. I do my workout. I'm up I get about 4 hours sleep a night. I'm in the gym at 4 in the morning.
Whoa.
And I do my workout, and I'm kind of smiling to myself and going, ooh, these winds are crazy. Gorgeous. I mean, it was as calm as could be, fellas, as calm as could be. And I have breakfast with my wife, as we've done. Our kids are grown. My daughter lives in London. I got 2 boys in New York. My third guy is making movies here in L.A. He lives in Brentwood. And we laughed a bit about the fact that it was a gorgeous morning. My daughter had flown in to surprise my wife. January 10th is her birthday. And so she was in town. It was really nice. And the girls are going to go out, do a little shopping, get their hair done, whatever it's going to be. I had a lunch at Toscana, which is my cafeteria, at 12 o'clock, 12:30. And at about 11:45, my assistant Craig says, hey, there's a fire up in the hills. And I went out and I looked and I go, oh, man, that's pretty insane. It's not going to come close to us. Anyway, 12 o'clock comes, I get in the car, get to Sunset Boulevard. It's bumper to bumper, Adam. And I'm wondering, why is it bumper to bumper? And they're talking about evacuations. And I'm going, you know what? I can't even get to Amalfi. I'm going to turn around, which is a street, right off of Sunset Boulevard. I come back to the house, and I'm working from there. And the winds start picking up, and the clouds, the smoke starts getting pretty crazy. And I go back outside, and I see the fire is coming closer, but not close to where you would imagine anything could ever affect where we live. Now, as you mentioned, people who listen to you around the world have no concept of where Pacific Palisades is, but it's the flats. I'm not on the bluffs. I always tell people I'm an earthquake away from beachfront, and we're very safe, very safe. 2 hours later, the smoke, the wind changes, and now the smoke is coming
now
over the house.
Now it's 2 in the afternoon?
It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 2:30 in the afternoon. I say, you know what? I call my wife, I have a video of it, and I say, honey, I'm going to pack some stuff, call me, right? And about 45, 50 minutes later, things really, like the sky turns black.
Damn.
It turns black. And I'm picking things up. And if I pose the question to you fellas, and everyone who listens to you, you have 2 hours. You have your home of 30 years or 10 years, whatever it is. What do you take? What do you take? Now, you take your valuables. You take the stuff that's in a safe, that's your passports and things like that. And then, like you, Adam, I look at your studio. It's fucking insane. I love it. I get sad only because I lost.
Oh, this is a bad place to show up when you lost all
the memorabilia, all the memories,
all the keepsakes,
all that stuff, right?
And you had a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot. 47 years of doing Body by Jake, man.
It's interesting because my parents passed recently were not what you call accomplished people, so. If they had to,
I don't know if that's funny or not. But
sorry,
well, when they would,
Jason,
was that a bit?
I'm sorry, I don't know. I know all the punchlines.
No,
sorry.
But here's what I'm saying.
My mom and dad passed, and Jason's laughing.
Sorry,
yeah, come on. No, my dad lived in Altadena. He passed just before the fire, but I don't know if his house burned. So my dad was in Altadena. And theoretically would have need to pack up, same as you did, and leave. Now, my dad's house just had books that other people wrote on the shelf. You know what I mean? Not a lot of awards and plaques and trophies and pictures of him with President Ford and stuff like that. There was none of that. Yeah. So all he had to do is get some socks and underwear and hit the bricks. But you and his trumpet, I bought him the trumpet, so that thing could melt. But the point is you have a lifetime of achievements, and they're going to be photographs and plaques and trophies.
But it's not only that. It isn't only that. I have 4 kids. I love being a dad.
Yes.
For all these years, and Look, I'm one of those wacky dads who saved every little note, every little handprint, every little card.
So what did you go for?
I took the most important things in the safe, and literally the clothes on my back. I called my wife Tracy, and and she was with Morgan, my daughter, and I said, "Guys, I've got to grab this stuff now. We got to get out of here." They're going to come back and at least take a couple of the cars. You talk about cars, we'll talk about that in a minute. And I took what you would think you would take. I couldn't see. I just got all of my home videos, everything, when the kids were little midgets and everything like that, digitized. And there was a bag, thankfully, sitting right by my desk. Now, my desk, my office, like yours, I call Mission Control. That's where I did all my work, my business, my phone calls. And I had a poem that I was given when I was cut from my 8th grade basketball team called Don't Quit. You know, I was an overweight kid. I had a bad stutter. My dad bought me a set of weights at 13. It changed my life. And I went out for the basketball team in 8th grade. I got cut. Embarrassing at that moment. This kid gives me this poem. I wasn't really a student. I was not a poet hardly. And for whatever the reason was, I didn't throw the poem away. It was on a perma-plaque.
Really? A kid gave it to you?
This kid gave me this poem. And the last 2 lines of the poem are, "Stick to the fight when your hardest hit. It's when things seem worst that you must not quit." I'll recite the rest of the poem before I leave here today. But that plaque, that perma-plaque, had been with me since I'm 14.
Wow.
It's on my desk. And I literally have my duffel bag. I have enough clothes. I bring a change of underwear, figuring, you know what? Okay. I pick up the plaque.
Do you think you're coming back at that point?
Right?
I pick up the plaque, and I go, wait a second. I can't do this. I got to if I take this plaque, if I take the Don't Quit poem, that means I'm quitting on my house, and I'm quitting on coming back here. I'm going to be back in the morning. And I put the poem back down.
Oh.
I put the poem back down because I knew I was coming back. An hour goes by, 45 minutes goes by, my wife and daughter come. It's mayhem now, right? We grab a couple of the cars that we have, and we get in the car, not thinking that we're not coming back, to the point of, I do.
You mean the flames were coming?
The flames were, they were not, the smoke was insane. Now look, I have gates in front of my house, right? And I just thought that in case they're bad actors, let me keep the gate locked, right? I'm going to bring I never bring a key because there's a side entrance, and this is the only thing, right? This is the key that I have from the side gate, right? And I thought, in the morning, I'll come back up there, go to the side gate. If the power's out, I could unlock the gate and pull the gate open, and I could take out. I've been blessed. I have nice things. I have a 98 550 Maranello that had 8,000 miles on it. Yeah, Pochi Blue.
6-speed?
6-speed.
Oh.
Magnificent.
Oh, what's the interior color?
I thought it's that camel, that beautiful camel.
The blue's beautiful.
With the luggage still
Custom
there.
luggage.
Custom luggage, you know the deal.
550 Ferraris going up. Kind of the last, not the last, but front engine V12. But here's the real one. If it's paddle shift, worth half as much.
On the floor, baby.
If it's
stick on the floor.
If it's the 6-speed, up.
So
and those cars are moving up fast.
I only tell you that to say, I thought that, okay, I'll come back in the morning and I'll be able to get the car. I can put some more stuff in just in case what's going on.
Don't tell me that car was left in there.
So we leave, we leave the car.
No.
We leave the car and everything else. Fellas.
The Ferrari 550.
Fellas, because I'm coming back. So with insanity, that's going on.
I do. Listen, everyone, I've been asked to leave a few houses, but you always think you're coming back, whether it's your girlfriend kicking you out or the fire marshal kicking you out. You're always like, I'm going to be like MacArthur. I will return.
But that was my sense.
But you just think you're coming back. I thought I was coming back, too.
Here's the thing. It wasn't that I thought. I knew I was coming back.
You left the plaque.
I left the plaque. I left the plaque, guys.
And the 550.
And the 550.
Oh.
And the torch that when I ran in the 2012 Summer Games in London. and the 2018 Stanley Cup ring.
Ironically, the torch made it.
No, the torch didn't even make it. The torch didn't even. Listen, so here's the deal. We end up. I knew if I mentioned this, will be the whole show.
In the blue, because everyone gets the red with the tan, but they don't get the blue. The car looks the best in the blue.
Pozzi blue. I got it. My friend John Luigi Buttoni, who is the
Jewish guy.
A Jewish guy. We got bar mitzvah together. As a matter of fact, it's Butonowitz. See, shortened it up.
Well, let me ask you real quick.
Go ahead.
Those 550s were cheap a few years ago.
Yes, they
weren't expensive. They just were not. And I would look at them all the time. I go, that's a V12 front engine Ferrari. I don't know what the hell it's 65 grand for or 85 grand, but those are cheap. Those are too cheap. They should be going. Every car I mentioned should be going up. Get back to me in 8 or 10 years. They're going up. Well, those cars are a couple $100,000 now and 6-speed and whatever. But I don't know what the insurance company does because they could.
Yeah,
there's a version where they go, well, I'll be at 85 grand.
Let me say this. The only reason why I kept the car is because one of my sons loves cars. My son Zach has loved cars his whole since he was a little kid, and he knows he hears the engines of cars. He knows, Dad, that's a fill in a blank. And I liked the car at the moment, and then it got nuts to drive, and I only drove it once every 2 years to get the car smogged.
Right.
Because, in this town, you got to smog the car.
Right.
So, and I had to drive it 80 miles because, you fail a smog test.
Right.
And you didn't get the sticker.
Right.
So that's why I had 8,000 miles on the car. But, so boys.
What did the insurance say?
The insurance did great. I mean,
at
the end of the day, it did great. The way they pulled it out and it was melted, it was not great. It just felt like it was really not nice. It just wasn't nice. I could show you pictures of that too. But look, boys, here's the deal. We check into a hotel, which is the old Lowe's in Santa Monica. It's called the Regent now, right by the Santa Monica Pier.
The wife, the daughter got stuff out.
We got
not
some
everything,
stuff
but
not even just our stuff.
Just
like
stuff.
birth certificates and things like that.
Ferrari behind.
All that behind. And we check into the Regent Hotel. Now, interestingly enough, I open the curtains and we can literally watch the Palisades burn.
Oh.
And we watched
What floor are you
Malibu
on?
burn
Up
on the 7th floor of this place. And we were able to watch.
Santa Monica bumps up against the Palisades, and the Palisades bump up against Malibu. That's kind of how it works. But and Santa Monica was in a little evacuation for
and
parts
that's what
of
people
that.
were saying, what are you at that hotel for, Jake? You're going to have to evacuate it. And you were so sort of off balance. And now we're watching. I get 4 hours of sleep, guys. I try to get some sleep. I jump up at about 3 o'clock in the morning. I tell my wife, Tracy, I said, I got to get to the house. I mean, I lost my mind a bit. I'm going to be honest with you. I got to go. I left the house. I mean, it's 30 years we're there. And calm down. We'll go in the morning. 6:30 in the morning, we get up. Police are everywhere. It looks like, there's ash everywhere. It's like it's snowing. Mm-hmm. And my daughter, who's a big hiker, she goes around the world hiking on her own, makes me nuts. I have only one daughter. We go up, sneak up behind Chautauqua Street to get us to Chautauqua, and there is a Telemundo van, right? And we have like a mask on, goggles on, and it's hard to breathe. Yeah. And I knock on the window, and I take the mask down, And the guy said, could you take me to my house?
Jake.
Yeah, that's what he said. No, that's right. By the way, the guy goes, oh, buddy by Jake.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty nice. I said, I want to see my house. And could you take me? He says, yes. We go up the street.
Because they have a news van.
Yes, they have a news van. We go up the street, make a left on this street called Borges. I'm seeing the houses are okay. I'm going, okay. This is okay. I make the right turn. One house is good. Other house is good. We have a basketball court in our front yard that we bought this home. We didn't build this house in 1994. Uh-huh. And when the kids would wait for the bus, we'd all play some basketball in the front yard. And the basketball hoop was melted. And you drive up, and my daughter's sitting in the back seat, and I'm not going to get emotional. It was insane. To see your house, it's
so
burning.
Houses around your house
are up.
Okay. They're up.
Opposite side, across the street, it's up.
So literally, the neighbor in front of you is fine.
side, left side, right side, fine.
Right,
And
left, and front. Those are your. There are three neighbors, all fine.
And I'm gone. There's the only thing that's up is the front gate. And I remember standing up outside and looking, and my daughter come on behind me and says, "Daddy, it's going to be all right." And I called Tracy, my wife, in the car, who's down on the bottom of Chautauqua, and she goes, "What's up?" I go, "It's gone. It's just gone." And it's such a surreal feeling, fellas. You know, we see movies, television shows, news, Woolsey fires, right? Katrina, all these horrific things that happen, and you sit there with your family or your wife, and you go, "Wow, that's terrible. So what are we having for dinner tonight?" Right? Yeah, and you get on to your life, and now you're the guy, or you're the victim, or you're the person that they're talking about, and then you hear all this stuff about L.A. strong and all, hey this, and you're going, you're full of shit. It's not LA strong.
By the way, I've lived in L.A. my whole life. I don't know what L.A. strong. You're not allowed to just put strong in front of lazy people who don't have a house.
Well, we'll talk. So, but I'm going to say this. After a few hours, what happened was something that I didn't think would happen to me. It was a rejuvenation. I felt light. I felt like this sense of energized. I'm an energized guy all the time anyway.
Yeah.
But I went from like, what the fuck, to, okay, you got a choice. You could roll up in a ball and die in a corner, or you get up and you persevere.
Yeah.
Let me ask a philosophical question. They have near-death experiences, and then people say they changed. You know, they started hugging people more after their near-death. They had a thing, and I think sometimes as humans we may get weighed down by a lot of material things and collecting things and keeping things, and then it becomes a kind of a burden to do that. And maybe weirdly, it all turning to ash in a weird way.
You give me the chills.
Could be liberating in a weird way.
You're giving me the chills when you say it, because that's it.
Really?
And I hate to look. I hate it. I'm telling you. You know, sometimes you think you're defined by what you have,
right,
as opposed to who you are,
right.
And what really counts, what really matters. And until they strip it away,
right,
you have to sit with yourself and say, look in the mirror and say, hey, who are you? What are you about? What's important? Who's important? Look, life's about moments. Life's short, fellas, right? The director yells cut, the show's over. And this is a moment where, what are you going to do? So every single moment from January the 7th, my cameras went off at 10:25 p.m.
The Ring doorbell, or whatever, security
I have
stuff.
security
that's
cameras.
when the power went.
I guess
that's
the power,
when it went.
and the show was over. And it's been unbelievable. Every single day has been a bit of January 7th.
Yeah.
Dealing with insurance and dealing with, you mentioned, talking before with your last guest, Scott, who I think is awesome, man.
He's great.
Funny. What a great guy.
Nice,
funny.
too.
Really nice guy.
Yeah.
Well, what a nice guy. About it just, you listen to the news and you hear our mayor and the governor saying things are at light speed and we're moving. Let me take you.
All right, hold on. I want to set
I'm doing
the table.
tours now. So I'm doing tours. I'm doing the hazmat tour. It's the, come on with me.
I will. We need to take a quick break. We'll set this up because I want to hear. So it's been 2.5 months or 2 months and a week or whatever, for lack of a better whatever.
Yes.
Let's just call it 2.5 months since the fire. We had the funny one of Mayor Bass in there with Trump, and Trump yelling, let people clear. Let people clear. And then she was like, we're going to do it. Or
6
we're going
months.
to do it.
Right. Should be a week.
Right. Now, I also, and Byron has a video clip, I went down there and I found one of the only people that was physically clearing their property. in Malibu, and I interviewed the guy who was in charge of the crew that was cleaning the property, and I said to him, how much, how long, what's with the permit, how many of these you doing? Because there was nothing going on, but there was one crew with one big backhoe and a couple of laborers, and I talked to that guy. So we can cue that up. And I want to hear Jake's story as well.
I got a good one.
And
I got a good one.
And we'll do it right after this.
And now, Alcoa presents Definitely Not a Jew on the Adam Carolla Show. Dateline, Wildwood, Florida. A 29-year-old man was charged with felony battery after a confrontation with his 62-year-old stepfather over his use of his PlayStation 5. The man hit his stepfather with a bologna sandwich. Definitely not a Jew.
Yeah, I don't know. I invented that 15 years ago or 20 years ago.
That's insane. That dude's definitely not a Jew.
Jake Steinfeld here. So don't quit is his ethos, and you can shoot him a tweet at Body by Jake, and also TikTok, Instagram at official Body by Jake as well. So you can tell us the story. Your place burned. My place didn't. Everywhere around my place burned. I don't know what the batting average was in your neighborhood. When I was evacuated and I'm watching the news and seeing little bits and pieces, because it was like a jigsaw puzzle. Like, oh, it's a shot. Oh, they got Dukes in the back. Dukes is still there.
Yeah.
But then that other place is gone. At one point, a restaurant directly in front of my place burned down, and I was like, all right, well, that's it. Now, they don't take the camera and go up the hill to my place. They just go, the restaurant is burnt down. So I'm like, we're going to... And I talked to my son at the time, and I just went, what's it look like? Or whatever. I said, it's literally a coin toss. And I would take the coin toss right now.
Right.
It's a flip of coin. I have no idea whether it's there or not. But I've been going, so most everything around me went. But I don't know about you.
Everything with the exception of my street, of the 600 block, right?
Right.
I'm the only house that went down.
On your street?
On my street. But everywhere in front of me, going into the Rick Caruso Village area, is gone. It's Gaza.
Right.
And I don't, Jason, I like to tell stories, man. We all embellish a little things. I wish that this was a story and where I'm in a dream still, or a bad dream, although not. I'm hanging with you guys.
Where have you physically been for the last 2.5 months?
Well, we were at the Regent Hotel in Santa Monica, which, by the way, I'm going to give a plug. These people were so damn nice. And everybody, we were there for 31 days. We are presently in a high-rise in Century City now, and which, you know what? It's strange. I went to 3 months of college and came out here to pursue bodybuilding summer 1977. So I've been in, last time I was in an apartment, I was 20 years old.
Right.
So it's a...
That's the funniest thing. I was driving to the Comedy Store 2 nights ago, and I was talking to my son again, who's in Oregon. He's 18. And I said, like, how's it going over there? And I said, rent a place in Burbank, and he goes, how's that? I go, I've not lived this way since I had roommates and was poor. Like, I'm living like I'm swinging a hammer and driving a truck, and it's 1989. That's basically how I'm living. I got used to something different than this.
It's a different show,
It's
man.
a different show.
It's a different show, but you know
the
what?
The seats aren't as good.
The seats are shitty. Just say it, man. But here's the thing, though. We as humans, you acclimate, and and it's like I tell my wife, and I listen. I've been very blessed. We're married. Tracy and I going on top of the 37.
Wow!
Oh wow!
One wife in this town, which is
very rare,
and we get along. And if we didn't, it would be. We like to joke around about a lot of things, but if you don't get along with your significant other, it's especially during times like this,
hard times,
and you talk about it, it's nuts. But Adam, I know you have something that you might want to show, but instead of
but I
showing,
want to hear your story too.
I think if I could tell you the
we
story,
can do both.
Okay, because when your house burns down, psychologically, it destroys you. And we were going up to the property. Now I can say property. I can't say my house.
Right.
Every day, right? Because we didn't know. No one knew what was going on. We were getting information about phase 1s and phase 2s, and the EPA is going to come and look at your property and then give you a check mark. And once you have a check mark, you can opt in to the Army Engineer Corps
of Engineers,
for them to come to your house to scrape your land, right? To scrape your property for free if you don't have insurance. But if you have insurance, they will max out your insurance.
Right.
But they don't take certain things. They won't take a pool. They won't take driveways. They won't take concrete. They only take a certain amount of inches of the soil, which you need a certain amount more in order to get to next phases. So who is that on? Then it comes out of your personal pocketbook. You can opt in to the Army Corps of Engineers, and eventually, if you'd like to opt out, you can. But if you opt out at first, you can't opt back in. So this is day 2. My wife does this. We opt in. We're waiting to get the EPA to come up to give you the phase 1 check. Remember, I locked my gate only because there's police, National Guard, but there are still bad actors coming up, and they're robbing homes, and I'm thinking, not going to rob my home. I get nothing there.
Right.
But I kept the gate locked just because. Well, the Army Corps, the EPA comes, and they give you an incomplete if they can't get in your property. It's like in school, which reminds me back in 5th grade, because, I used to bring the flag home a lot. And when I had an F, I called it the flag. So, I bring the flag home with my mother. I tried to change an F to a B once. And I was really stupid, and it didn't work out. And my mother did the routine. Well, let's call Mr. Crespi. And I said, go ahead, Ma. And she started the dial. I go, Mom, I know. It's me. And she wasn't even calling Mr. Crespi. Busted my chops.
She knew his number.
So I have it incomplete. And I said, okay, tomorrow morning I'm going to come back up to the house, which was February the 3rd. I have my moments, right? February 3rd in the morning, I come to the house. Now, still, it's dark. It's bad. Everything around. It is just, the Palisades in Malibu, man, is some beautiful places. This looks like the worst you've ever seen anywhere, a war zone. I come up there, I find the EPA crew, and thankfully there was a foreman named Vince. I convinced him to come to my house, and they literally come in the hazmat. It looks up like a movie, guys.
All right.
They come out, they lay a white sheet out in front of your house, and they look around, and they literally found a half of a paint can they put down, and they said, you get the green check mark. And I said, fantastic. And they said, oh, by the way, can we take a picture with you? I said, no problem. Thank God I did that. I took a picture with the boys, and we're on to phase 2, which was now we decide we want to opt out. I don't want the Army Engineer Corps because I don't want to wait. Because psychologically, myself, my wife, my kids, I don't want to stare at this because it really is painful.
Were you able to go through the wreckage and salvage anything?
Nothing. We found one thing, and I could show you a picture of it. We found a picture. We found a plate, a little almost like an ashtray. It wasn't an ashtray, and it was a Winston Churchill saying, "When you're going through hell,
keep going."
Keep going.
Wow.
Fellas, I'm going to find this when we're in the middle of talking, and I will show it to you. If not this second, but you'll lose your. That's the only.
That's crazy.
That's the only of a nice home, beautiful. That's it.
That's
it. The only thing that it's the only thing. It's the only thing that we found, and I will tell you that when you're so flipped out over all this stuff, you just want to get rid of that bent steel, bent metal, that wreckage, right? So I connect with a demolition company. You interview these people and couple of them show up in Gucci loafers, and you're going, Larry, you're not the guy that's going to be actually on the Bobcat, are you?
I got to tell all you people, you contractors, I've had guys pull up in Hummers with 22-inch triple chrome rims on it, canary yellow, smoked windows. I was like, okay, this guy's charging way too much. Way too much. On the other hand, you don't want to pull up in a beater 25-year-old F-150 with 2 different color fenders on it, because you go, that guy, he doesn't know what he's doing. There's a sweet spot, like it's a truck that's like 7 years old, not top of the line 350, Lariat, Evil Knievel edition, or Harley Davidson. It's like a Ford 250, not dually, lumber rack, bed box with 7 years on it, but the guy takes care of it. And that's the guy you hire.
And no Gucci loafers.
No Gucci loafers. There it is. If you're going through hell, keep going. It ostensibly looks like a smallish, medium ashtray. Right. Is what it looks
exactly.
Like.
So, Jake, look at that, man.
I see.
Right. So I hire this guy, Georgie, JG Demolition, right? This big dude, man. He's a really honest guy. And the first thing you have to do is you have to get, once again, your soil tested. Mm-hmm. So you call around for that. I won't bore you with the story. I end up with this nice group. They come up, they take 33 samples. I don't want to do anything underhanded. I don't want to do anything that's not right. I have neighbors. I want to clear this as fast as possible, psychologically for the family, but for my neighbors as well. Mm-hmm. And thumbs up on that. Now we can get forward to do the demo. I got Georgie and his team 3 Mondays ago, ready to go. He calls me, he says, you got an incomplete on your, no, we don't. I go up there, and there's an incomplete, and then there's the Army. There's a little thing in the ground that's from the Army Corps. Mm-hmm. And I said, hang on. And I get on the phone, and I get to a nice supervisor of the EPA. Her name was Mary. And I said, Mary, listen, I had a check mark, and now it says incomplete. Yes, we understand there's, all this backup. Give us a couple of weeks. And I said, Mary, here's what's going to happen. That's your problem. It isn't mine. I said, this has been devastating enough, and I got to get rid of this stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to do it. So if there's a problem, I gave her my address, and I said, call the police, and I'll have a news crew here, and let's just talk about this in a public forum. Mm-hmm. I said, I could send a picture with me and Vince, who's the foreman of the EPA group. I can show you these pictures here if you like, fellas, with the thumbs up and 12 guys. She says, you know what? You go take care of your business. And then I spoke to the Army Corps. Now, by the way, when you call the Army Corps, very nice folks. They're all been very sweet. Unfortunately, they just don't have information. They don't know what to do.
They don't know what to
do. So they just keep passing you around.
Right.
So what happens is you opt out. You send an email. They say we are in receipt of you opting out, but we'll let you know when you're able to be opted out. And I said, no, this is not Nazi Germany.
Right.
And I called up another nice person, and I said, here, my name is Jake Steinfeld, and we're at this address in the Palisades. My home is burned. I'm going to go through my own private demolition company, not using you folks. There's plenty of the people that want to. If you have a problem, call the Army. Have them come up to this address, and we'll have a news crew, and let's talk about it.
How big is your lot? How many square feet do you know?
29,000 square feet.
29,000. It's big, almost 3/4 of an acre.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's a big lot.
Yes. And it's a disaster area.
And people don't really know what an acre is, but a half acre is a big lot. That's a double lot. 3/4 of an acre is a good chunk of land.
Yes.
Swimming pool.
Yes.
All right. So they got to deal with that.
Yes.
What do they quote you to clear that lot?
That's a lot of money. It is a six figure.
It's 6 figures.
It's 6 figures. But you know what, though? I had the first two fellas come up. Now, by the way, guys, everything that we're dealing with now, this wasn't planned. We didn't plan for the house to burn down. We didn't plan to have to deal with insurance. We'll talk about that in a second. But I just want to alert all of you listeners, like, this is something, if you get anything out of this, a couple of laughs and understanding that, life's about moments. We all deal with shit. We have to deal with things. But when it comes to insurance, make sure you read your policies. Make sure you understand what you have, what you don't have, what you need, contents, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, how are you doing on insurance?
So we're very fortunate. We're with a very good company, and so far so good. If it turns, I'll come back on the show. We'll tell you.
So now, I'll tell you what. I'll show you a minute 50-second of me talking to Glenn, the guy's cleaning up PCH, because I think it's informative for the audience, and you guys can go look at it. The blog is out. He's a private guy.
Okay.
So I want to. He passes a lot of information in a minute and a half, and I want you to absorb that,
Great.
and then we'll get back.
Perfect.
So this is me on PCH, and I stopped, and a guy came up to me who was working on a crew. What's your name?
My name is Glenn Bell. I work for American Wrecking.
So you guys have been subbed out to do this stuff.
Wrecked by the homeowners.
What does it cost to completely strip one of these lots? And I know you're going to say it's going to vary from lot to lot.
Depending on size.
Now pause it there for a second. It's a lot smaller than Jake's lot. Jake's 3/4 of an acre. This is 1/8 of an acre smaller. These are small beachfront places. So
but it's on the water.
It's on the water.
There's coastal commission problems and all those challenges.
Well, we'll keep playing it. We'll do it. To completely strip one of these lots, and I know you're going to say it's going to vary from lot to lot.
Depending on size and access, there's pretty decent access here, so we can bring in the bigger equipment and the big trucks. They're averaging from 40,000 and up to 90,000, depending on the size. Volume, dump fees, and time is what makes the cost go up or down. Also, the scrap metal. I sell the scrap metal. Discount that back.
Oh,
So if I have a $100,000 job and there's 50,000 in scrap, I'm going to do it for 50. The scrap pays me.
I did not know that the steel was reusable.
Well, no, it's going for scrap metal. They're going to melt.
they're going to melt it
It'll
down.
likely end up in China.
How many days to go from this
4 to 6, he'll
we're
say.
declared this finished and clean?
4 days.
4 days.
There you go.
So you started
All right,
this
you
morning.
can
Pause it there. By the way, that's the wrong cut. But anyway, it's not the cut that got released. It's a different cut. That's all right. It's the same guy. It's just
It's a brand new show you're doing,
got
isn't
it? No, you got sent a former cut. That's why I was looking. I was going, I thought we cut that stuff out. But anyway, said 40 to 90 grand, about 4 days. But he's got access, and that's a much smaller lot than your lot.
And mine, now, just to give you...
And the owner, he went on, if we had the other cut, I would show it to you, but he went on to explain that you could go with the Army Corps of Engineers or you could sub us out.
Yes.
And that's what the homeowner in this case, because I drove all the way up and down PCH, that was the only action that was going on. So that homeowner wanted
it done.
He wanted it done.
He wanted it done. And that's what most people want it done, because psychologically, once again, mental health is such a huge, like when we were growing up, man, if you're having a bad day, your parents say, get outside, go play some ball, go with your friends, shake it off. It is a very real thing today.
I'm amazed at your resilience, bud. Like, I did not. Your bubbly personality and happy face, I did not expect you to tell me your house just burned down.
Well,
yeah.
Thank you, brother.
You're a testament to man's raising up.
It's about don't quit. Honestly, it's those two words that go through my blood, man.
I want to continue on your journey.
Yes.
With Army Corps of Engineers and cleanup guys.
So when you see 4 days, right? The first two fellas who came to my place and quoted me 4 to 6 days, right? And then the guy I ended up with, George from JG Demolition, said it's going to be 14 days. This is going to be 14 to 15 days, Jake. Like, whoa. Now, once again, fellas, I don't do this. It's not like, the last time I did it, The other guys told me 4 to 6 days. Here's what's going to happen. They'll get to 4 to 6 days, and then they'll start charging you per load. Per dump truck that comes load, right? Okay. Now, interesting about the scrap metal, I didn't know about that, so I'm going to ask my guy just about the scrap metal. That's a very
Those
good.
Olympic torches will get some good
I'll get
cash.
a couple of bucks, $3 or $4 extra dollars. So it'll be $1,000,001 and 13
Yeah,
cents.
these guys were pulling all kinds of steel and copper because the plumbing's all copper too. It's pulling it all out.
And that's the thing. So we've got it scraped. And what has happened, though, now is now I want, because our mayor here has said they're going to expedite all the different, things when it comes to when you bring on an architect and a contractor and builder. And you were talking about that with Scott, right? About permits. Right?
Yes.
And you could probably give me a little schooling on that because this is brand new. I've never built a house. We did an extension once on the house that we had, but this is brand new, a brand new world. But we're being told, and you get alerts. Do you get the same alerts that I do about Karen Bass is going to do a virtual news thing?
I don't have that.
You got to tune in to one. I mean, here's the thing. These are not, they're all nice people. Unfortunately, she doesn't have the equipment to be able to do
the mental equipment.
Honestly,
let me just explain.
She doesn't have
she's first off.
Go ahead.
These are process people. They want to sit around and talk about stuff, and that's what they do. And they talk about the children, and they talk about no one being left behind, and then they talk about no one's illegal, and these migrants come here, and they work harder than we do, and they look for a better life and stuff. The homeless, by the way, not homeless. They're unhoused neighbors. They're process people who want to talk about stuff. They're good at it, and it fools women and dumb dudes. They love this shit talk. Right. They love this talk. But the reality is when the shit goes down, these people are worthless.
They're out of town.
So they're fine. They're fine for the ribbon cutting and the ceremonial dances and the garb and the pictures and the opening of the daycare centers. But when shit goes down, they're completely useless.
These guys have never built anything.
They've never done anything. They've never had a business. They never don't do anything. They're process people. Their whole thing is talk to us, and then we'll have a meeting, and then we'll get a subcommittee, and then we'll get back to you, and then we'll have another meeting with another subcommittee.
And then we'll meet again.
And then we'll meet again. So they don't know how to do stuff.
And then we'll do a town hall.
And what you saw when Trump showed up, Trump's a commercial builder. Rick Caruso's a commercial builder. I used to be a builder. Builders are in a hurry.
Yes.
They're like, let's go. What's going on? And so what you saw is the contrast between the process person and Karen Bass and Trump. So Trump's like, let's do it now. And she's like, safely, got to make it safe. When you hear safe, just hear slow and never.
Right.
Safe means stay home. Safe means shut the schools for 2 years. Safe means shut the business. Safe means don't leave your house. Safe means eat Thanksgiving dinner out in your yard. That's what that safe means. Safe's to death.
Yes.
When process people hide behind safety. Process people can't go, I'm fucking lazy and incompetent, so we're not doing anything. They go safety. Right. But safely, So she's in the meeting going, but safely, because she's incompetent and she's worked in government her whole life and her fucking brain is cheese. And then you got the commercial builder going, let's go. And she's going, safety. They've learned if they say safety, we won't call them incompetent. Right. And at a certain point, they can call you racist or elitist or rich or white or something. They really want to slow you down.
I think that's all done now. I really do. I think the pendulum is swinging back.
In the next 5 minutes, can you build? Are you going to rebuild this property?
I'm going to rebuild, and I give the challenge to a guy who is a builder, right? I want to rebuild. I'm going to rebuild, and I'm going to take our elected officials at the word that they're going to say, and I want to test it. And Adam, I'll come back and I'm going to report in. I'm going to do the same thing in a couple of places.
You could be our fire buddy.
I could be I could be the fire buddy.
But you got to put the outfit on.
Yeah. Right. Which one? The hazmat outfit?
The fireman outfit. I'm not going to make a fool of you.
Wait, the fireman outfit?
The fireman outfit.
Yes. Like a nice outfit.
Shake our fire buddy.
Does it taper? Is it taper to waist?
We do like what the newscaster did down there on PCH, where he took his fire jacket and he tailored it.
He tailored it up. He
tailored it up. You got a V. Show it off.
And he stood right there. Yeah. Well, maybe we do it with no sleeves.
No sleeves. Show off the guns.
No sleeves.
No sleeves.
I'll do
Fire
no sleeves.
by Jake.
Taper it up.
Fire by Jake.
Oh, I like that. Hey, listen. got to make fucking lemonade out of lemons, man.
You're
And that's what
doing it.
you got to do.
So are you working with an architect now?
We're narrowing down, we learned it's like a marriage with an architect. So we think we found somebody. I'm pretty confident we have a contractor / builder.
Really?
And I'm going to move. I'm going to move quick because I don't believe it's going to take me 3 years. I hope that it's going to take a whole lot shorter than that. But look, you make it a smile at me. Maybe,
we're all about permits here.
But here's the thing. I'm going to push them with this permit because I've spoken to friends from around the country and they go, permit. You get a permit a day in Colorado. You get a permit a day in this state. You get
Texas,
in Texas and these places.
No,
like
in
that.
Texas, they go, why are you even asking for a permit? It's your property. Go build whatever you want. Why are you telling us?
Yeah. And I believe, look, there's been a big push, and I'm gonna look. We have a lot of fun things to do, right? A lot of fun things that I've got going on, and the positive side with music and Universal Music. We have this great new label. It's called Body by Jake Music, and we're launching Don't Quit Radio and Don't Quit Records. Positive, motivation, inspirational. But a lot of people have been asking me on a lot of these shows, you're focused on building. Did you ever think about running for office? Now, I've been putting fitness centers in elementary and middle schools around the country the last 13 years. I've stood next to 48 of 50 governors around this country. I have completed the mission this past October. I would have never have thought in my wildest dreams that I would have any interest in public office, because the only thing that I know how to do is to build things and to make things. And you learn after a bunch of years, as an entrepreneur, you know what you know and you know what you don't know. And the stuff you don't know, you get the right people around you. And I look at an opportunity here that if it is the moment, that people have said, would you be interested in running for governor? And I'm not saying no. But I'm really thinking hard about it.
Good.
And I'm putting a lot of people around me. And I feel that if I do run, I run as a Republican, but it's not really, it's a moderate, because I'm not about red and I'm not about blue. I'm about the red, white, and blue. Ooh. And I've always been that way.
It goes on the button.
Would you make it?
I'll endorse.
I'll stamp it myself.
I'll endorse anybody.
I'm just saying that we need change.
Yes.
But you have to do it in a way as you would run a business, and you get the right people to do it. Because, like I said, I know what I know. I know what I don't know, and I'm far away from even saying anything. But you got my blood popping here. And
listen, here's the thing about running for governor or mayor. It's a lot like an invention where people go, somebody should make a fill in the blank. And then you go, I couldn't find one, so I had to make one myself. You know what I mean? Which is fine, but I wish I could just find one. I just go on Amazon and get one. You know what I mean? And I feel that way with the governor. It's like, I don't want to run for anything, but if you're going to be insanely incompetent for a prolonged period of time, then maybe I will, but I don't want to. It's just you're so incompetent that you're kind of forced to.
But when it hits you between the eyes and you listen to the news every single day, and I'm talking about the folks, and I'm saying Karen Bass is not a nice lady.
Do you think your house had to burn down? Do you think that was preventable if they had resources and people in place and so on?
I only know, once again, what I've heard. And you said it in the last show with Scott about there was a fire on January 1st, right? I heard, right? Kids were playing with firework, whatever it was. The fire was supposedly put out. There was still smoke. Now, by the way, I don't know if this is fact, and that's what once again, you hear a lot of things. The fire wasn't out 100%.
Oh.
Right? That's something that I heard. Don't know if it's 100%. Then you hear that now I watched it. I could show video of this fire far away from the Huntington Palisades that I don't understand, even though it was windy, that they could not put that fire out.
Right.
Or at least contain that fire. Now, once again, I'm not a fireman. I will be now coming on the show.
Right? Look at the outfit.
Great outfit. And I don't know the real particulars about how 1,000 guys were told to go home. We ran out of water.
There's certain
right, buddy. So there's not. So was it preventable? Man, it's 2025. Man,
I know. I'll put it to you this way as we wrap up. They make a big deal out of January 6th, right? And it was a big deal. But Trump and others said you should get 10,000 National Guards guys there before the rally, and they didn't. So, and then the shit went down. So you can go, whose fault is that?
Right.
And I'd say, well, I don't know, but if there's 10,000 National Guards guys there, it probably would have helped. And I don't know if it would have happened anyway, but if you'd listened and got the 10,000 National Guardsmen there, it could have been a different outcome.
But Adam,
and I
the thing
would
is
say
this,
the same about the fire.
Yeah.
Hold on. They should have had people stationed and out. They knew the winds were coming.
Yes.
They knew what was going on. Does that 100% guarantee? Don't know.
Right.
Nobody knows. But if you'd done it, it could have been a high likelihood of not this. And it's the same thing with January 6th. Like, no,
Right.
we don't have a crystal ball. But if you had done what you should have done, then, and now you're blaming whoever,
Right.
Trump supporters or the wind or whatever. But if you had put in place what you should have put in place because you knew it was coming, you knew the winds were coming, you knew the Trump supporters were coming, if you had done it the day before, it could have been a better outcome.
I'm just going to say this. We can't look backwards. Because you look backwards, you can't fix it. It doesn't get fixed back there. But what we look at right now, good question, great conversation. How do you move forward so this doesn't happen for real?
Yeah.
Because the next catastrophe is going to happen, like what happened with us in the Palisades in Altadena, right? After that plane crash that happened in Washington D.C., the Palisades and Altadena fire was off the front page. It was out of the news, and the assumption was no different than Lahaina in Hawaii. And I was there in October with the governor Josh Green. I put fitness centers in the state of Hawaii. I
Were
went to
people coming
Lahaina.
around trying to buy your property?
No.
Haven't got any offers.
No, because I made it very clear, hey, I'm not
Not for
selling. Now, I've heard a lot of conversation about it. But we've got to be able to, as we sit here right now, and look, I'm going to come back and have some fun, tell some funny stories, because we've got a lot of great stories. But this is important, man. I mean, we live in a great state. The sunshine is normally the best, and I love it here, man. There's nowhere else I want to be.
Yeah.
And we got to fix it. I mean,
I
it's
agree.
as broken as can be.
Jake
and
for governor.
That's what we're going to talk about in the fire outfit.
Yeah,
All right.
Governor by
Let me
Jake.
give some plugs for Jake. And I know we were going to do news, we're going to get everything, but this is compelling.
Yes,
and
it
it's
is.
interesting, and I was fascinated by it. Don't quit. That's the motto. The website, bodybajake.com, you'll find everything there.
Yeah, with that, you know what? But the best thing to do, man, is on Instagram. It's official Body by Jake. And
I'm going.
TikTok. I'm not really a social media guy, but we have this great new music.
Favorite Jefferson Starship songs, which is Jane, which is just I think I'm going to go with the rock and a song. It's always associated with Jefferson Airplane and then became Jefferson Starship. I was like, what the hell happened to Grace Slick? She was huge, and then I haven't seen her around in 30 years, maybe more. And she had a statement that Joe read off the air, and I'll give you a second to find it because I didn't really prep Joe, but kind of summed it up. Like, no one wants to see your old ass up on stage. Although David is pretty old. I also think it's women more than men. I mean, the Stones are older and shit. The Who's older and shit, and they can still play, and who cares? I think the women, especially when they got by on being sexy,
Yeah.
when they were younger. Grace Slick's still alive, just said, no. And then also, all rock and rollers over the age of 50 look stupid and should retire. In fairness, it's difficult to disagree with Slick here. Watching Pete Townsend perform My Generation as a 78-year-old is frankly ridiculous and a depressing affair. There's something about old people singing rock and roll lyrics that bothers me. It just doesn't match. Well, it's true. You're talking about young and rebelling against the man and getting on your scooter and going into town and fighting, and a girl you're interested in at the end of the bar, and your prostate's exploding and your grandkids are in their 30s, right?
Yeah, but you get a discount at IHOP.
Oh, yeah.
Balances.
Well, if they write current stuff about eating at 5, discounts at IHOP,
Yes.
eating free on your birthday, stuff like that, and discounts at the theater.
Kissing your grandchildren.
That's right.
Do you want to know the one band in particular that inspired this quote? She said, I saw a film of Fleetwood Mac doing something, and I was okay as long as I didn't look at them. I couldn't look at them. They sounded great, and if I looked away, I imagined young people singing. I was okay with it.
Yeah, I think she's being a little sexist because there's two women in Fleetwood Mac, and I think that's where the beef starts because they see the aging. All right, so we'll talk about that. The other thing, I don't know if you've heard this, Dawson, but they have a list of worst songs ever. And
I think I know what you're getting at.
They always put "We Built This City" on there.
Yeah.
And I first feel like Hall Notes has 4 songs that are worse than that song that get played all the time and never counted. The Eagles have 7 songs that are worse than that. Paul Abdul has 11 songs that are worse than "We Built This City," but it somehow made it onto some list and it'll never leave. And the other song that used to be on that list is somewhat MacArthur Park by Richard Burton, or is it Richard Burton? Richard Harrison. MacArthur Park. It's my fucking favorite song of all time. You've taken my favorite song of all time and put it on the shit list. A pox upon your family.
With the weird wavelength, I don't get it.
We Built This City is not my favorite Jefferson Airplane song, but it does not crack the top 1,000 horrible songs that get played constantly. It's not as bad. Nothing's as bad as Man Eater, so why is this on this list?
You know, this band was an example of cancel culture before cancel culture existed because of this song. And I think, I remember it was like national news that other bands were pissed at Starship, not Jefferson Starship. This is Starship now. They were pissed at them because they thought that Starship was saying, we built this city, instead of we built this city on rock and roll. They were saying they were taking credit for it, and that was the big huzzah.
I get it.
I'll file this under Tool Tune.
I love this
like
song.
If it comes on the radio, I'll listen to it.
Yes.
It shouldn't be on anyone's list of worst songs ever.
Oh, there's so many worse songs than
Yeah,
this.
it's a happy tune.
That's just San Francisco. Like I said, Marconi plays the mamba.
Yeah.
You know, this is a very San Franciscan-centric song.
I totally agree. It makes me, but it is on those lists, right?
Absolutely, every single one.
And it just shows what lemmings people are.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You'll have to talk to Freeberg about this song. This is essentially the reason he left the band.
Whoa.
Which is on your bio.
Wow.
And he went on to say, the only real thing on that song were the vocals and the guitar. I was useless, so I left. It completely turned away from anything organic, and it wasn't really what I did.
Well, I don't know that that's
still no
the
Man
same
Eater.
band. Yeah, it's a weird one-off, sort of like a kitschy type. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, we got to make a song for a toy commercial. Lego, get after it. We built this city.
Well, him saying the only thing real on it were the voices and the guitar. I mean, that's that's halfway home. I mean, a lot more than Paul Abdul does, right?
I think he was probably saying there was a lot of synth.
Yeah. I get it. All right. Speaking of music, I got to say, so I was heading down to Roseanne Barr's place today, right?
I heard.
I'll tell you, they say never meet your heroes. I would say never check out their home. Because I got to tell you, I walked into Roseanne Barr's home and Mike Tyson years ago. Disappointed. There's no universe where Adam Carolla should have a nicer house than Roseanne Barr and or Mike Tyson. That universe doesn't exist. You understand? When Mike Tyson and Roseanne Barr came onto the scene, I was, apartment, 3 roommates, futon. I didn't even eat top ramen. I did bottom ramen. I was so poor, making $11 an hour, driving a pickup truck. And Mike Tyson was Mike Tyson in, 1989, whatever. Roseanne Barr is the highest paid person on TV. They're like $1 million an episode. And by the way, people do that thing where they go, $1 million an episode. That was back in the day.
Yeah.
$1 million an episode when you could buy a nice ass house in Studio City for $275,000. That house, that 275 house now, that's 2.4.
Yeah.
That's 2.4. It was 275, and she was making $1 million an episode. I mean, that's a kind of fucking buku bucks. Not impressed by the house. But I
guess you're not getting invited back anytime soon.
No. We had a good conversation. I had a good conversation with her. I had a good conversation with her son. She made fun of her own home a little bit. Tyson, I felt the same way.
Oh, so you're on the show then?
Yeah, I'm on her show.
Oh, great.
She'll come back on this show, and we'll keep the conversation going. But and you tell me when it loads up. But when we're on the way there, I had Andrew, who's videoing me for some extra content, and for Substack, right? Have I got that right? Substack content. And we're just driving along the car, and I said, look, let's do a thing. I'm going to put it on the 70 station, and then, Dawson, you can play along. Everyone can play along at home. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the radio all the way down. And then I'm going to put on the 70 station, and then I'm just going to turn it up and turn it down real fast. Like when people go, well, you listen to a song for 2 seconds. Not 2 seconds. It'll be under 1 second, and we'll see if I can guess the song by just knob up, knob down. So it's on the 70 station with 0 volume. Crank it to 20. As fast as I do a quarter turn this way, I'll go quarter turn back. I'll see if we can guess the song.
Beat Shazam.
All right, beat Shazam. What happened in my brain? I did not hear a recognizable song. I heard zip, zip. I did not hear a melody or a beat or a chorus, or there was nothing. You guys all heard it. You didn't hear anything. You just heard zip, zip, right? But something in my brain went to Casey and the Sunshine Band, even though if you said to me, name 50 bands from the 70s, I might not mention Casey and the Sunshine Band. It's not at top of my list. So something in my brain felt their fingerprint, their stamp. Every band has a sound.
It's a game. There's like a game show with Jamie Foxx that surrounds this exact phenomenon. Yes, it's a thing.
Is he still alive, or is that a doppelganger robot?
I don't know.
No, I get there's a game, and I get when people go dun 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 dun. You go, my Sharona.
Sure.
But you don't get duh. No. That's just one note. But the point is my brain didn't recognize a song. This is not, I'm not, let's put my brilliance aside for a second. Let's
do it.
I know it's difficult, but let's see if we can just shelf my brilliance for a second. That was more animal than it was human. I wasn't recognizing beats or chords or lyrics or chorus. I recognized a footprint.
Yeah, because
of a print of a band's sound.
Pattern recognition is a cornerstone of the human condition. If you don't recognize the pattern of a tiger's foot, you're going to get 8.
You're on the right track, I believe, Mayhem. I think, in theory, I would liken it to that meme that has all of those words misspelled, like E's or 3's, and words are backwards and spelled backwards. And you can read clearly that if you can read this, it means your brain is working properly, and you can da-da-da-da. I think music-wise, what would you say the over-under is on how many times you've heard that fucking song?
Yeah.
I've heard that song hundreds of times.
So what I would theorize that your brain identified a sound frequency
Yes,
that's in that song, and your mind put the rest of that song together in an instant, and you knew what it was.
I didn't know which Casey and the Sunshine Band song it was. Sure. I knew it sounded, it had
all the hallmarks.
Well, it didn't have all the hallmarks because it was less than a second. So it was just, well, one more time. We'll play it again. But No, I'm just saying my brain and human brains operate in some deeper level than we think we do, because that was me not recognizing the song. That was me knowing that Casey and the Sunshine Band had some sort of signature and some sort of footprint, and it hit. By the way, when I said Casey and the Sunshine Band, I had no idea. I didn't go, yes. I was just like, right. That's all I got. All right. You ready?
Let's do it.
Here we go. Casey and the Sunshine Band? That didn't work, was it? Oh my God. All right. Anyway, I crushed the rest of them, but the rest of them I got some beats in there and some stuff. Mm-hmm. Now listen, everybody. If that's autistic or if that's being on the spectrum of Asperger's, then so be it. So be it. I just happen to recognize stuff.
You want to see if you can name a Jefferson Starship song by just hearing that much?
It would have to be. It can't be a deep cut.
I'll make it a hit.
All right.
All right, ready?
Mm-hmm. Run away? I don't know.
No, I'll give it to you again.
I was watching my TMZ last night, and turned out that Lizzo got down her goal weight. Now, I told this to Roseanne, and I told her take it in the spirit in which it's intended. But a lot of people, men and women, they weigh 325 pounds, right? And it's like a woman is 5'5". And she goes, my goal weight is 190. And I'm like, that's a good goal weight, but you're still a fat ass. To those of us who've never seen you before, just behind you at the mall, we're looking at a 5'4", 190 pound. We're looking at a cruiserweight that's 5'4" as a female. Like, you're still fat to us. Yeah. So your goal weight is good. Now, I was saying this to Roseanne, so I was like a little bit worried, that she would take it in the wrong spirit.
Yeah.
But she said you got to have two goal weights because you can't, if you're a chick and you're 325, you can't make your goal weight 135. That's a bridge too far. You make your goal weight 185. Then once you get there, you go for the 135, right?
Realistic.
Yeah. Oh, Lizzo's 5'10". What do you think she was at peak weight?
I'm talking 390.
Oh, you're going that much?
390 for sure.
That high?
Yes.
You know
dense.
weight.
Yeah, I know.
She's dense.
I know weight.
You know weight.
I look at I can one eye somebody usually and get it pretty
really.
Right. Yeah, and I think she's a right. I don't know if she ever admitted. Yeah. She didn't admit it. Yeah, she definitely didn't admit it. But Lizzo was definitely 390 pounds.
That's way too big.
Yeah, she's
5'10". Way too big. That seems way too big.
5'10", African origin, dense.
390.
She had muscle under
there,
bro.
She's bigger in the fridge.
Yeah, she could double at you, Joe. Don't even. Yeah. I believe it.
So you're saying you do with weight what I do with Casey and the Sunshine Band songs?
Exactly.
You don't need much.
Oh, yeah. With fighters, I can one eye you and tell if this guy's lying to me. If he's saying I'm on weight. No, you're not.
You can tell.
I can tell.
390 seems.
I'm just joking.
Is she 300? Is she 300?
I think so, yeah. It's got to be 300.
She claims she was almost 300. So I'm going to go with 300. And now she started her diet. Anyway, she had a clip of her at her heaviest. She had a clip. This wasn't the one I wasn't thinking of, but she was talking, saying that she made her goal weight. I think we'll have that somewhere. But that brings up questions in my mind. Then we have, I don't know, was it TMZ last night? Or there's a goal weight? Or she was explaining that she made her goal weight, Joe. Was that a clip we have?
No, sorry. I got that. The news was that she posted it on her Instagram story that she reached her goal weight, but let's see if we can find her talking about it.
Oh, yeah, that's a clip. TMZ saw it last night. Go ahead and find it. All right, I can keep moving forward while you look for that. Although it was on TMZ and she posted it. It's got to be there. I was... my favorite movie, Mayhem, is Billy Jack.
No, I thought it was Earthquake.
No, yeah. Well, Billy Jack was very, very depressing.
I never seen it, nor have heard of it. This is the first time that you get to talk to me about this.
It was everything that was wrong with the 70s. There was everything that was bad about the 70s.
In
was in
movie
this movie.
form.
In movie form. Was in Billy Jack. And there's a kind of a monotonish, morose, depressive voice that women had in the 70s that reminded me of my mom, and that's why I hate it. But this is the scene in Billy Jack after Billy Jack's girlfriend gets raped by the riverside.
Oh, wow.
By Bernard. He's mean because he drives a Corvette.
You mean Bernard?
Bernard.
This is a heavy subject, man.
It is a movie where the main antagonist is named Bernard, but Billy Jack calls him Bernard, and nobody on the set ever raises their fucking hand and go, his name is Bernard. It's a name. It's a normal name. Stop calling. And Billy Jack, Tom Laughlin, is an Irish guy with blonde hair and blue eyes, but somehow he's American Indian because he wears a funky hat and moccasins and mispronounces the very American name Bernard. Bernard. Anyway, Bernard, a.k.a. Bernard, just gets done raping Billy Jack's. God, did this scramble my sexuality? This is like, I'm like 9, and she gets tied down, spread eagle, like with stakes in the ground, and Bernard has his way with him. And she's obviously depressed after this assault. And then one of her young female friends says, you got to tell Billy Jack, mixed martial arts guy before it was popular.
Yeah.
You got to tell Billy Jack so Billy Jack can exact his revenge on either Bernard or Bernard, but they're the same guy. And then Billy Jack's girlfriend says in her super 70s Chris Carolla mom tone that nothing would ever change. So here it is, but I'll connect it to something modern. So somehow, I have a visceral.
You make me watch, Ace. That is so weird. Dude.
I have a visceral reaction to bummer chicks 70s speak. It bothers the shit on me. It reminds me of my mom. And then I was watching TV the other day, and Elizabeth Warren came on and was giving a bummer speech. And I was like, why do I hate Elizabeth Warren so much? Oh! Billy Jack pretended to be an Indian. Billy Jack.
Oh,
Tom Laughlin is a blue-eyed white dude who somehow was Native American in Billy Jack.
I'm watching the movie.
He pretended to be Indian, and then his girlfriend bummed the shit out of me. But then it was always been in the back of my head. And then when I saw Elizabeth Warren giving one of her bummer speeches, I was like, that reminds me of Billy Jack. Billy Jack pretended. They make the ultimate power couple. Tom Laughlin and Elizabeth Warren both pretending to be Indians to try to make some money, by the way. That's what that's what Tom Laughlin was doing, was pretending to be Indian. This pretending to be Indian shit, it goes back.
Yeah.
You could hammer checks pretending to be Indian back in the day, just like Elizabeth Warren tried it now. But I'll play you her clip. If you close your eyes, you'll hear Billy Jack, bummer chick 70s.
Did you see the New York Times headline? Republicans are now saying the quiet part out loud. They want cuts for grandma in the nursing home in order to fund massive tax giveaways for billionaires. Let's take a step
That's what
back.
they say.
President Trump has big plans for huge tax cuts for his rich as hell donors. You know, the big tech billionaires who had better seats at his inauguration than his own cabinet nominees. A massive tax bill like that is expensive. Extending Trump's tax scam alone would cost us $5 trillion. That's trillion with a T. So how do Republicans plan to pay for it? By slashing health care for kids, seniors, and people with disabilities who rely on these programs to survive. It's robbing working families so the richest Americans can get even richer. How much more obvious can you get? Republicans don't care about making working people's lives easier. They don't want to cut working families a break. They are in this to make sure that their billionaire buddies and billionaire corporations can keep lining their own pockets, all while working people struggle. I'm in the Senate to fight back.
She's not gonna let it happen.
Damn your pacifism!
Your billionaire buddies, Bernard. I never thought of the fact that it always reminded me of Elizabeth Warren, and then I realized they both famously pretended to be Indians. Billy Jack, I don't know if you read the rundown, Joe. Billy Jack, I know he lived with the Indians, and I know he practiced their rituals, but I don't know if he claimed to be an Indian or he just adapted the persona. He got the hat. He got the moccasins. You'd love it because this is early kung fu action.
Yeah.
And this is white dude kung fu action.
I'm into it.
70s white dude kung fu action. And you know he meant business because he'd slip his moccasins off.
Ooh.
He fought like you, barefoot.
I know. If you
fought barefoot.
Got to take them off.
He was Billy Jack, a mixed race Navajo, is a Green Beret veteran of Vietnam and a Hapkido master. You know the Hapkido?
I know a couple of those.
What I figured out from Hapkido is you kick racists in slow motion.
Yeah.
Is that part of the discipline?
It is.
Slow motion racist ass kicking. That's what I learned from Hapkido and Billy Jack. Yeah, a lot of front kicks.
A lot of front kicks, yeah. A lot of sort of war marches.
Goose stepping. So in the movie, he plays a mixed race Navajo. His name is Tom Laughlin. Does that sound like a part Iroquois? Tom First off, is there a whiter name? I mean, maybe Kelsey Grammer. Is there a whiter name than Tom Laughlin? And what is the real Tom Laughlin? He's Irish or something, right? I mean, anyway. He did the cultural appropriation way before Liz Warren did it, I think. Although maybe Liz Warren is early 70s.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
All right. I'm putting some ideas together here in real time.
Ready. Yeah.
Liz Warren is in her early 70s, and she's like applying for grants and trying to get into college and this, that, and the other. And that's when she starts making up the American Indian thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Billy Jack comes out in the early 70s.
Yeah, she's riding that wave.
I wonder if like a 21-year-old Liz Warren is like, you know what, before I go and apply to Harvard, I'm just going to check out the local cinema. And then she's sitting there watching Billy Jack pretending to be an Indian, right?
Yeah.
And she's just like sitting there going, seems to be working for Tom Laughlin.
Yes.
I mean, he's fucking white as the driven snow, and he's getting all kinds of accolades. What if I pretend to be Native American?
And what if I pick up some of this whininess from this lady?
Oh, yeah. I'll talk to my constituency like I was just raped by the river by Bernard. Laughlin wrote the original screenplay from the film Billy Jack. Sorry, for the film Billy Jack. In 1954, he wrote it after witnessing the treatment of Native Americans in his wife's hometown of South Dakota. Winter.
It was a passion project.
South Dakota. But Tom Laughlin was never anything. So here's the question, Dawson. What year did Billy Jack come out, and what year did Liz Warren come out and declare she was in it? Because it could have been around the same time.
Liz Warren got into Harvard around 1992, but in the late 70s, she taught law at several American universities.
She could have got inspired by Billy
Rutgers.
Jack.
She was a lecturer at Rutgers from 77 to 78.
There's an AMC theater right outside.
That's right. Midnight showings of Billy Jack.
Yes.
You know that they didn't stop with Billy Jack.
What? There were sequels?
Dawson, Billy Jack. Ha-ha. The next installment, the third installment of Billy Jack.
Oh, it was the IP then.
Would have been 77. Oh, wow. Billy Jack goes to Washington.
Holy shit.
Holy shit. The same time she was applying at Rutgers. What year did Billy Jack go to Washington? This is what inspired
Goes
her.
all the way to the top.
Oh, my God.
1977.
So she went
77?
There it is.
That's it.
Yep. Call Garrigus. I think we
Get
I think we
Garrigus
can
on the
file a
blower.
lawsuit. This is evidence.
This is hard evidence.
This is circumstantial evidence, but it's evidence.
The year that she applied as an Indian at Rutgers, Billy Jack goes to Washington. A fake Indian goes to Washington.
We need to find out if Elizabeth Warren is one of those crazy people who saves ticket stubs.
77
We could find a ticket stub for Billy Jack Goes to Washington.
Yep.
We've got an open and shut case.
This is important. All right. We'll take a break. We got some news. I was like, Billy Jack, 71, Liz Warren, 77. That's 6 years apart. But then I forgot they made a Billy Jack Part 2, and then the third is him going to Washington. So
I missed the whole phenomenon.
Well, it's a big enough franchise that they needed 3 of them.
Had no idea.
They had no idea.
You opened up a whole new world.
A new world. Yeah, you haven't lived until you've seen a middle-aged woman get raped by a river by Bernard. All right, so we have Lizzo Warren. This is her. Okay, here she is.
I'm not going to be considered thin by any means. I will still be considered morbidly obese on the BMI, and little bros on the internet are still gonna call me big backed. But I will be happy.
And after a year of hard work, she is happy.
Did she do Ozempic, or did she talk about how she did it?
She's been saying that she's been working out.
Did she say what her goal was?
She didn't say her goal, but she does noticeably look thinner than she did.
She lost 16% of her body fat.
Wow.
That's a lot.
And yet she still says she's still in the morbidly obese standard? All doctors tell you you're morbidly obese.
I've never heard that in my life. It's always like, oh, you're a little underweight, da-da-da.
Oh, man, I want to strangle you. Guess I'll have to eat another sleeve of Thin Mints.
She weighs herself in a grocery store produce scale. Congrats, Lizzo! Your hard work and dedication is very inspiring.
Now I guess it's time to set new goals.
All right, she's very proud of herself. But here's my whole point. Wasn't she telling us for a decade that we shouldn't judge and that it was good and fat was good and we shouldn't fat shame and leave people alone? Then why are you so happy when you dumped 125 pounds?
Check her podcast history. I think we shamed her into it.
Now listen, God bless, number one, good for you. Hard work, I hope, paid off.
Yeah.
And you should be proud of yourself. You just shouldn't have yelled at everyone who called you fat when you were 300 pounds and super unhealthy. But I think the fat thing, when future generations go back and sift through the wreckage of this era, one of the insane things they're gonna come up with is, along with the gender stuff, like, well, assigned at birth, like, no, you're a chick or you're a dude. That's it. That's all we got. Those insane conversations are also the ones where we can't fat shame someone or tell someone they're unhealthy or they need to lose weight. I mean, everyone who died in COVID was fat. So, and it costs us cajillions of dollars a year. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing. Okay, listen to me. These people.
Yeah.
If you lit up a cigarette anywhere near the park their kids were in, they would fucking have you arrested. Why? It's unhealthy. And now I got to breathe your secondhand smoke, and you shouldn't smoke, and you shouldn't smoke, and you shouldn't smoke. All right. Being fat is worse. So you can do 1,000 PSAs on not smoking, and you can shame everyone, and you can outlaw it everywhere, and you can wag your finger at anybody. But if I bring up the thing that's more dangerous than that, then I'm the guy who needs to be pulled off the internet? Fuck right off. We're living in some weird upside down world where it's like, yeah, a man and a woman and a pronouns and a he and a they, and you can't call her fat, or she is fat, she's morbidly obese, and she's got pre-diabetes and diabetes and third string diabetes, and diabetes goes to Washington, but you can't fucking say anything, but she's dying of COVID. Like, okay, these are the rules. People are going to look back at this and go, these fucking guys were batshit crazy.
Yeah.
And then the next thing they're going to do is they're going to go, what happened to dudes? How did so many pussies go along with this?
Yeah.
And I'm going to go, I don't know. I never did. And they're going to be, but what about all the pussies? What about all the fucking sheep pussies out there? What happened to dudes? They just went along. They didn't want to get in trouble. But what the fuck?
The boundaries go back and forth. Societal boundaries. It seems like they rubber band now. It's not a normal ebb and flow. Like, remember the 80s? Dudes started dressing all chicks.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? And then, like, it went out of that into some rough hip-hop 90s.
I've got to say, so I've never been down with anything.
Yeah.
I saw glam rock and like hair bands and stuff, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
There's no fucking way.
But you like some of the songs on the radio, I'm sure.
I heard a little White Snake traveling to Roseanne's, and I cannot lie.
Yeah,
I like that song.
Roll the windows down.
Yeah. I will say, you know how you can how you can tell everybody if whether you believe them or not, or they go, I wasn't down with all this bullshit, or I didn't go along with whatever, with a man and a woman. If you just want to know who wasn't down with whatever, there's one way and one way only to tell.
Instamatic camera?
Check the hair. Check the hairstyle.
Yeah.
This hombre, I passed through like 5 hairstyles. Socially, not me.
Yeah.
Now, I can't do shit with my head.
Yeah.
Okay? But guys tried. It didn't stop dudes from trying. You know what I mean? If you find a picture of me from 21, my hair looks the same as it did at 51, and it still looked the same at 31.
Yeah.
I had the same hair straight through. Straight through. Never changed. Which means no trends.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
Because the hair...
Not even a mullet?
The hair goes first.
Oh, yeah.
The hair is the first thing. Facial hair, second. Head hair. When you look at like, everybody had to have the same hair in the 70s.
Feathered?
You take a look at Love Boat.
Yeah.
Captain Steubing was bald. All he had was his sideburns and a little